The students sitting in the gallery above are requested to come down and sit in the auditorium.
Respected resource person, esteemed teachers, dear delegates and friends. After a fascinating inaugural session, a sumptuous lunch, and encouraging interaction with our distinguished dignitaries and delegates, we now move ahead to one of the most intellectually engaging segment of NSE 2K26, Technical Session 1, Oral Presentation. On the session provides a dynamic platform of young minds to articulate ideas, to share research perspectives, and critically engagement with componentary national concern. We are honored to be in this technical session with an insightful lead address. The session is led by Mr. Yatin Duggal, a dynamic youth voice and through leaders. The theme of this session is both timely and significant. Youth leadership and the future of democratic nation building. This topic invites us to reflect on the role of young citizenship in shaping democratic values, responsible leadership, and the future vision of our nation. We request all participants to kindly maintain academic decorum, adhere to the time of limits, and engage activities during the discussion and Q&A session. To start with this session, let us have a look at the splendid achievements for our resource person today, Honorable Mr. Yatin Duggal. May I request to the technical team to kindly play the video.
Our guest today is not just a but a force of thought, growth, and a purpose. Meet Honorable Yatin Bhaskar Duggal Sir, a powerful and inspiring voice of India's youth. From the state of Haryana to the national stage, Mr. Yatin Sir has emerged as a prominent figure in a public speaking, leadership, and a youth empowerment. His journey is built on a strong academic foundation. Honorable Yatin Bhaskar Duggal Sir holds a master degree in history from a lovely professional university. Alongside academic, he discovered deep passion for language and communication. As a certified English teacher, he spent years mastering the art of impactful communication, using words not merely to speak, but to inspire, influence, and connect with the people. A defining milestone in his journey came in 2024 at the National Youth Parliament Festival held in New Delhi. Competing against 86 of the finest young speakers, Yatin Sir secured first place from the Honorable Speaker of the Lok Sabha, marking his rise as a leader of a national significance. Following this achievement, Honorable Yatin Sir carried his message to a global platform through his TED Talks. He motivates, guides young minds toward building a stronger, more developed India. Speaker, scholar, leader, Yatin Duggal Sir stands as a testament to the power of youth leadership. When young voices rise with a purpose, the nation listens.
Thank you. What an indeed movement journey. With a great pleasure, we now invite Mr. Yatin Duggal to take a lead and set a tone for Technical Session 1.
All of you have had your lunch? Can you remove the voice little? थोड़ी सी कम. Perfect. Am I audible to all of you? You've had your lunch? Feeling energetic? So abhi, because I'm going to be there with you people for the next 40 minutes. So what I wanted to do with all of you was, and I'll with respect, with permission from the authorities, we'll keep it an interactive session. So 20 minutes I'll speak, and then I want to hear some questions from your side. Is it okay with all of you? Or do you want just me to speak? You want to ask some questions? Absolutely. तो प्यारे बच्चों, जैसे हमने फर्स्ट सेशन में शुरुआत की थी, what does this country mean and what contribution we can make as youngsters? How many people are here below 25? Raise your hands. All of you. I'm also below 25. How many of you are below 20? A lot of people. How many of you are below 10 years old? Then it's okay. So we have primarily an audience between 18 to 25 years of age, and that's very important because you represent the 70 crore, the 700 million youngsters in this country. Is that clear? The first thing that I'll request to all of you is, what I'm speaking here is not going to be a lot of gyan to all of you. It's a very interactive thing. I want to know what your ideas are. ताकि आज के बाद जब मैं जहाँ से जाऊँ और कहीं और भी बोलूँ या सेशन लूँ, तो मुझे याद रहे कि अमरावती में मैं गया था और इस कॉलेज के बच्चों ने मुझे सिखाया था, and I can teach that lesson everywhere. For that, you have to follow 2 rules. Will you follow those 2 rules? One is that you have to be active. Is that clear? And second, in between the session, I can ask a question from any of you. Is that clear? Because I've also, not unlike your professors, I've taught at Delhi University for 1 year, so I have little experience in professorship. With that, let us begin what we can discuss about today. When we were talking about Viksit Bharat in the morning, we were discussing that today India has become very developed, you know. Today we rank number 4th in military, number 4th in GDP, the highest steel producing country, one of the biggest space satellite missions across the world. But at the same time, at the very core of it, a lot of problems are being faced by young Indians, and that is what I'm here to discuss about today. We are going to talk about 5 core values. Is that clear? The first thing is, जैसा सर ने कहा भी था उस समय, कि हम सभी चाहते हैं कि देश में भगत सिंह और विवेकानंद हो जाएं, but हमारे नहीं किसी दूसरे के घर में. The first thing is, in order to make this country Viksit and developed, you people will have to contribute. The first lesson is selfless contribution. आज़ादी से 75 साल पहले चलते, 1920s, 1930s, 23 साल का एक लड़का फांसी के फंदे के आगे खड़ा है, शहीद आजम भगत सिंह. The Britishers ask him, तुम एक आराम की जिंदगी जी सकते हो, हमारे आगे माफी मांग लो, अंग्रेजी हुकूमत के आगे अपना सर झुका लो, we'll let you live, you can live a normal comfortable life. वो 23 साल का जवान लड़का उस अंग्रेजी अफसर की आंख में आंख मिलाकर कहता है, सर मुझे फांसी मंजूर है. क्यों? क्योंकि मेरी रूह से इस कदर वाकिफ है कलम मेरी, मैं इश्क भी लिखूं तो इनकलाब लिखा जाता है. Opportunities like this come in all of our lives, where we are asked to question, where we are asked to decide something. तो पहली चीज जो हमने सीखी, देश किसी दूसरे के बदलने से बदलने वाला नहीं है, आप ही को बदलना है. I'll give you a small example. So when I started working with the United Nations, we were working with Ministry of Health. Every day during the Swachh Bharat mission, we used to get 15,000 pictures every day from the country of normal citizens. सर हमारी गली में केले का छिलका पड़ा हुआ है, इसे हटवा दीजिए, हमारी गली ब्लॉक हो चुकी है, इसे हटवा दीजिए. अब एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मोदी जी थोड़ा बिजी रहते हैं, वरना हम उनको भेज देते आपके इंडिविजुअल विलेजेस में. That is the first lesson that I discovered. We are waiting for other people to make the change when we can actually make a change. Is that clear? एक छोटी सी लड़की की आपको कहानी बताता हूँ. Like the people who have inspired me life have been the youngest and most amazing people. उस लड़की का हम नाम नहीं आपको बता सकते because of some confidential reasons. 11 साल की लड़की, I met her at a session in Hyderabad. She attended my session and after my session she comes to me, और मुझे आदत है थोड़ा कि पिक्चर खिंचवाने आई होंगी normally, and she starts crying. In my mind, what I'm thinking कि मैंने आज इतना अच्छा बोला है कि बेचारी बच्ची रोने लग गई. She is very happy, but she was genuinely crying. I come to her and I ask her कि बेटा क्या हुआ है. Remember, it's an 11-year-old girl. She came with her mother. She said, sir कि आज आपने यहाँ पर जब जेंडर एजुकेशन और सेक्सुअल एजुकेशन की बात की और गुड टच बैड टच की बात की, तो आज मुझे पता लगा कि पिछले 5 साल से मेरे ही घर में मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा है, and I was not even aware about it. 11-year-old girl crying. That's your first lesson. Try to understand what I'm telling you. Wrong things are happening around you, within your own homes, within your societies, within your parts. You have to change that. अब हम में से ज़्यादातर लोग क्या करते, उस लड़की को सांत्वना देते कि सब ठीक हो जाएगा, ज़िंदगी में कुछ बदलने वाला नहीं है. This story is 5 years ago, all of you. Today that girl is 16. This coming year, she will be awarded as the PMO Bal Awardee Award. Why? उस 16 साल की लड़की जो उस समय 11 थी, अपनी हिम्मत से ना हारते हुए उसने अपनी जैसी बच्चियों के लिए 13 ऐसे एनजीओज बनाए जो आज 600 से ज्यादा बच्चियों को पढ़ा रहे हैं. This is the power of that youth can make, and all of you can do that. If a 11-year-old girl can do this, all of you can do that as well. So the first lesson is clear: selfless contribution. तो आगे से आपको कहीं कचरा दिखे तो ये मत कहिएगा कि मोदी जी ने गड़बड़ कर दी है, आप इसे उठाकर डस्टबिन में डाल सकते हैं. स्मॉल स्टेप्स लाइक दिस. इज दैट क्लियर? तो आगे से आपको लगे कि पॉल्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है देश के अंदर, तो अपनी 25,000 सीसी की फटफटिए की बजाय एक 2,500 रुपये की साइकिल का भी आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. दीज स्मॉल थिंग्स लीड टू बिग बिग चेंजेस. द फर्स्ट लेसन इज क्लियर: सेल्फलेस कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन. सेकेंड वेरी एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन, और ये लेसन मुझे सौरभ से सीखने को मिला. When Saurabh, and what was the name? Ishant. सौरभ और ईशांत मुझे कल होटल में आए और खाना खिलाने के लिए आए. I'll give you a small anecdote. पहले तो अमरावती का एक्सपीरियंस इफ आई कैन शेयर विद यू. जब मैं दिल्ली से आया था तो वहाँ पर बहुत सर्दी, तो मैं 2 स्वेटर 3 जैकेट डालकर आया था, और मैं जैसे ही नागपुर एयरपोर्ट पर तो उतरता हूँ मैं सोचता हूँ मुझे पसीना क्यों आ रहा है, what has happened with me, right? And then I come here, it's even more heated, and I come to the hotel. बहरहाल तो सौरभ और ईशांत come to meet me, और बहुत ही सहमे सहमे से डरे डरे से बच्चे मेरे पास आते हैं. एंड they were sent by your teachers for the dinner preparations for me. और बच्चे मेरे पास आते हैं, and by the way to the whole faculty of this college, and I say this from my heart, बहुत समय बाद मैंने ऐसा कोई कॉलेज देखा है जहाँ के बच्चे टीचर्स की तारीफ कर रहे हैं. सो ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. बहुत छोटी चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. सौरभ टोल्ड मी कि सर हमें कहा जा रहा था कि टीचर्स को एंकरिंग करने दी जाए, बट स्टिल आर टीचर्स सेड कि हम लोग करेंगे. और सर ये आज बच्चे शायद यहाँ फंबल करें, यहाँ थोड़ी गड़बड़ करें, बट यहाँ से सीखे हुए बच्चे यही आपके कॉलेज को दुनिया भर में लेकर जाएंगे. दिस इज योर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन. सो बहरहाल, और ये कहानी जो सौरभ की है ये बहुत सारे हिंदुस्तानी बच्चों की कहानी, और उसके बाद आई विल शेयर माई स्टोरी ऑल्सो. उससे पहले एक छोटा सा सवाल है, वो हम बाद में आंसर करेंगे, इसका जवाब आप सोचते रहिएगा. अभी तो आई एम वर्किंग विद सेंट्रल मिनिस्ट्रीज इन यूएन. Can you guess what I wanted to be when I was very small? ये आप लोग सोचिएगा इसका आंसर. Let's come back to the story. तो सौरभ और ईशान से मैंने पूछा कि आप आइए खाना खाइए, तो पहली बार दिस सेड कि सर आज तक हमने होटल सिर्फ बाहर से ही देखा था, पहली बार हम यहाँ बैठ रहे हैं. Try to understand. ये सिचुएशन हम सब की कभी ना कभी रही. And we are sitting in the dining hall of the hotel. We are looking at the menu. और इन बच्चों को पूरे 15 मिनट हो गए हैं, and they are not able to order कि खाने में मंगाया क्या जाए. I am looking at them, they are looking at the menu, and then they are looking at me. एक आंख नीचे, एक आंख ऊपर, एक आंख नीचे, एक आंख ऊपर. तो बड़ी मशक्कत से ज़बरदस्ती करने के बाद I tell them कि सौरभ एंड ईशांत, यू कैन ऑर्डर एंड देयर इज नथिंग टू वरी. बट मुझे पहली बार एक चीज़ महसूस हुई, इन बच्चों में नहीं बहुत बार, इंडिया मेक्स यू अनकंफर्टेबल एट अ लॉट ऑफ प्लेसेस. आई टेल यू, जब मैं दिल्ली पहली बार आया था तो मुझे हिंदी और इंग्लिश तो क्या हरियाणवी ही बोलनी बहुत टूटी फूटी आती थी, हम बहुत गांव से आए थे. सो दैट एटमॉस्फेयर मेड मी वेरी वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड इंफीरियरेटेड. इट मेड मी फील आई एम नॉट अप टू दीज पीपल. दिस इज योर सेकेंड लेसन दैट यू नीड टू हियर. चाहे आज आप अमरावती में बैठे हों, लंदन में बैठे हों, चाहे आप अमेरिका में बैठे हों, all of you have the same organ as every single human being on this planet. You have to believe in yourself. Is that clear? सौरभ की कहानी से मुझे सौरभ ने बताया कि मैंने पूछा बच्चों किस बारे में बात की जाए. तो सौरभ सेड कि सर हमारे स्टेट के अंदर, इस छोटे से ज़िले के अंदर, छोटा तो नहीं बड़ा ज़िला, जिले के अंदर बहुत ज्यादा टैलेंट है, बट बच्चों के अंदर जो इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स है ना, वो जाता नहीं है, वो अंदर ही अंदर रहता है। और वो आज बेशक से अंग्रेज हमारे यहाँ से चले गए हों, भगत सिंह ने कहा था अंग्रेज तो चले जाएंगे, गोरे अंग्रेज तो चले जाएंगे, बट काले अंग्रेज फिर भी हिंदुस्तान पर राज करते रहेंगे। आज वही आपको दिखता है। कैन यू इमेजिन, हमारा अकेला देश है दुनिया में जो खुद की स्किन कलर और खुद की लैंग्वेज से नफरत करता है। You will not find a fair and lovely in Africa, but you will find a fair and lovely in India. We are inferior within our own language. So this is your lesson number 2. अंग्रेज तो चले गए हैं, बट जो अंग्रेजियत हमारे अंदर जिंदा है उसे भी खत्म करना आपका काम है। और ऐसा मैं क्यों कहता हूं? हम लोग अमेरिका, वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड को बहुत महान मानते हैं। These Western people, they will teach us about democracy. America doesn't even give abortion rights to women in their country. They will teach us about feminism in our country. Their banks are filled with our money. Their museums are filled with our artifacts. Their civilization has been cemented on the deaths of our people. Do not lecture us about freedom of speech and democracy. Go fix your own countries. अंग्रेज जब हिंदुस्तान से गए तो 13 लाख अंग्रेज थे और हिंदुस्तान की पॉपुलेशन 40 करोड़ के करीब थी। 13 लाख अंग्रेजों ने 40 करोड़ हिंदुस्तानियों पर राज इसलिए नहीं किया था because we didn't have the capacity, because they made you feel that you're inferior from them. Is that clear? Is that clear? अभी मैं आपको गारंटी दे रहा हूं, अगर अभी यहां पर a young guy comes from London and all of you have zero idea about him, all of you will start clicking pictures with him. Why is that? Why is our value taken from outside the world? The second lesson is clear. You have to be absolutely proud about yourself. Is that clear? Selfless contribution and get the inferiority complex out of your head. एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण इंसिडेंट मैं आपको बताता हूँ। स्वामी विवेकानंद का आपने नाम सभी ने सुना है, ये इंसिडेंट भी आपने सुना होगा। 1893 शिकागो कॉन्फ्रेंस, दुनिया भर के धर्म और धार्मिक लोग अपनी किताब वहां लेकर आते हैं, कुरान, बाइबल, गीता, अलग अलग रिलीजन के लोग। और वहां के लोग, क्योंकि हिंदुस्तान उस टाइम गुलाम था, तो हमें नीचा दिखाने के लिए गीता को सबसे नीचे रख देते हैं। और बाकी लोग स्वामी जी को कहते हैं, स्वामी जी आपका देश कितना खराब है, देखिए आपकी गीता तो सबसे नीचे रखी है। स्वामी जी का जवाब सुनिए। दिस इज व्हाट टेल्स यू अबाउट ट्रू लीडरशिप। ही सेज कि महोदय, आपकी नजर में गीता सबसे नीचे रखी है, बट अपितु सच बात तो ये है कि ये भारत की सभ्यता ही है जो पूरी दुनिया का भार अपने ऊपर उठा सकती। दैट इज द पावर ऑफ गीता। अगर आप अपनी भाषा पर प्राउड फील नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे काम चलेगा? दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू लर्न अबाउट। आई वाज इन द बुक फेयर, इन द फेयर राइट नाउ, और मैं बच्चों के डिजाइन देख रहा था। एक बार तो उन सब बच्चों के लिए जोरदार तालियां। दे हैव डन अमेजिंग अमेजिंग जॉब। मतलब मेरे पास पैसे कम है, वरना मैं सब कुछ खरीदता। These people are doing so incredible things, right? And you can do that as well. Absolutely, you can do that. The important thing is you have to believe in your culture. Louis Vuitton आपके महाराष्ट्र में आकर आपकी कोल्हापुरी चप्पल को पेटेंट करता है और वही 250 रुपए की चप्पल विदेश में 25,000 की बेचता है। Why can't you people do that at the same time? We have rich culture, rich tradition, rich abilities. The only problem is, one is the government side, जो आप कह सकते हैं कि resources नहीं है, but एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है, we don't feel proud about our own culture. Is that clear? तो आज के बाद अपनी भाषा पर, अपने कपड़ों पर, and most importantly, your culture, you have to be absolutely proud. हाँ, उसमें इतना proud नहीं हो जाना है कि महाराष्ट्र में कोई हिंदी बोलने वाला आए तो थोड़ा ऐसा भी नहीं कर देना है, क्योंकि देश बहुत खूबसूरती से बनता है। I'll tell you one, मतलब हिंदुस्तान शायद अकेला देश है, जब यहाँ आतंकवादी भी मरने आते हैं, उन्होंने ये बात कही, आप सुनकर देखिए, कि कुछ तो खास है इस वतन की मिट्टी में है दोस्त, कि कुछ तो खास है इस वतन की मिट्टी में है दोस्त, सरहदें लांग कर यूं ही नहीं आते मुजाहिद यहां दफन होने को। अब इसको कोई क्लिप कर कर सोशल मीडिया पर नहीं डालेगा कि यतिन सर इज सपोर्टिंग टेररिस्ट। आई एम जस्ट सेइंग अ लाइन। सेकंड एंड थर्ड पॉइंट इज क्लियर नाउ, जो कि मेरा मेन पॉइंट है आप सभी के लिए। व्हाट इज डेमोक्रेसी? लोकतंत्र का मतलब क्या है? एंड आर वी रियली अ डेमोक्रेसी, ऑल ऑफ यू? डू यू थिंक वी आर अ डेमोक्रेसी? I think the Josh is not right up there. How is the Josh, everyone? Really? I think अकोला में ज्यादा अच्छा खाना मिलता है, वहां जोश ज्यादा मिलता है। How is the Josh? हाउ इज द जोश? अरे आप उन महा लोगों की संतान हैं, उन लोगों की संतान हैं जिसने नेपोलियन को धूल चटाती थी. अपनी आवाज में थोड़ा जोरदार लाइए. हाउ इज द जोश? हाउ इज द जोश? हाउ इज द जोश? तो जैसे मैं आपसे बात कर रहा था, डेमोक्रेसी, the largest democracy in the world, 1.4 billion people, nearly 1.1 billion voters. Just to give you a perspective, that is more than the combined population of America, Denmark, United Kingdom, Sweden, Australia, and 17 European countries. That is the number of voters that we have. But Winston Churchill ने एक बात कही थी, और इस बात को समझिए. The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. और ये मैं क्यों कहता हूं, और हो सकता है इन आने वाली पंक्तियों पर आप तालियां बजाएं, बट ये सवाल भी आपके लिए है. इस देश की, और इससे मुझे पता भी लगेगा कि आप देश के व्यूज के बारे में कितने अवेयर हैं. 70 करोड़ यूथ, 700 मिलियन यंग लोगों वाले इस देश में हिम्मत कैसे हो जाती है वेस्ट बंगाल में एक चीफ मिनिस्टर की ये कहने की कि एक लड़की 12 बजे के बाद जाएगी तो उसके साथ रेप हो जाएगा. हिम्मत कैसे हो जाती है कर्नाटका में एक सिटिंग एमएलए की ये कहने की लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के अंदर दैट व्हेन अ गर्ल इज रेप्ड शी शुड एंजॉय इट. हिम्मत कैसे हो जाती है एक रिलीजियस लीडर की मध्य प्रदेश में कहने की कि जो लोग महाकुंभ में मरे हैं उनको मोक्ष की प्राप्ति होगी. इट हैपेंस बिकॉज यू डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड द ट्रू मीनिंग ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब एक दिन एक राजनेता को पार्टी को जिताकर एक सीट दे देना नहीं है. उस नेता को 5 साल के 365 दिन के हर 24 घंटे, हर 3600 सेकंड के अंदर क्रेडिबिलिटी के अंदर रखना. दैट इज डेमोक्रेसी एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज दैट यू हैव. बिकॉज आप लोगों को लगता होगा कि मुझे अकेले व्यक्ति से क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है. राइट एवरीवन? ऑल ऑफ यू हैव वन वोट, राइट? रेज योर हैंड इफ यू हैव वन वोट. अगर आप बांग्लादेश से नहीं है तो हाथ उठा सकते. ऑल ऑफ यू वन वोट, राइट? एक वोट से क्या ही फर्क पड़ता होगा दुनिया के अंदर, डेमोक्रेसी के अंदर. माय डियर यंग पीपल, लिसन टू दिस फैक्ट व्हेन आई से दिस. It was one vote in 1924 that made Hitler the leader of Nazi party. It was one vote in 1789 that started the French Revolution. It was one vote in 1999 that debilitated the government of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. All of you have that one vote in your hands right now. Use it absolutely carefully. और ऐसा करना क्यों जरूरी है? क्योंकि इस देश में जो नेता हैं उनकी लगाम पकड़कर रखना आपका काम है. बहुत खूबसूरत बात कही जाती है. मैंने एक बार नेताओं के आगे कह दिया था पार्लियामेंट में, तो बहुत समस्या हुई थी. इंडिया की डेमोक्रेसी में मुहावरा बहुत सही फिट बैठता है कि बर्बाद गुलिस्ता करने को, बर्बाद गुलिस्ता करने को बस एक ही उल्लू काफी था. हर शाख पे उल्लू बैठा है, अंजाम गुलिस्ता क्या होगा. बट जैसा मैंने कहा, पॉलिटिक्स या पॉलिटिकल लोग गलत नहीं है. You need to make them understand what are the important issues that you want them to work towards. Is that clear? तो आने वाले समय में ऐसे चीफ मिनिस्टर्स को इलेक्ट मत कीजिएगा जिन्हें IQ और AQI के बीच का अंतर नहीं पता है. Is that clear? ऐसे नेताओं को इलेक्ट मत करिएगा जो आपको सोने से आलू बनाने की टेक्नोलॉजी देकर जाएं. Be careful about using this democracy that God has given us, that thousands of revolutionaries have died for. This has not come easy, everyone. बहुत मेहनत से ये लोकतंत्र हमें मिला है, and we need to be absolutely careful about it. The first lesson, selfless contribution. Get rid of the inferiority complex. Third, understand the true meaning of democracy. Is that clear? Fourth, very, very important point. आप में से कितने लोग यहाँ पर बीजेपी सपोर्टर्स हैं? Raise your hands. आप में से कितने लोग कांग्रेस सपोर्टर्स हैं यहाँ पर? Raise your hands. कितने लोग MNS सपोर्टर्स हैं? कितने लोग शिवसेना के सपोर्टर हैं? अच्छा, ज्यादातर लोगों को देख क्या लग रहा है आप लोग नोटा के सपोर्टर्स ज्यादा हैं यहाँ पर. माय डियर यंग पीपल, ये लेसन जो मैं आज आपको देकर जा रहा हूं इसे अपने मस्तिष्क में डालकर रखिएगा. आज के बाद किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का फैन बनने की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need to be fan of political parties like BJP, Congress or MNS. You need to be supporter only of one country, that is India, that is Bharat, that is Hindustan. That is the only thing that you need to be supporting of. And once you get that embedded into your head, everything becomes really, really clear when you think about the perspective. Is that clear? And right now, the situation is very tense because हमारे समय में, even though I'm young, when internet was not very new, we didn't have a lot of information. Right now, there is a time where we have over information with everything. जैसे मैं आपको बताता हूँ, कल मैं सौरभ के जाने के बाद एक टी स्टॉल पर गया और वहाँ एक ताऊ जी की उम्र के व्यक्ति बैठे थे. पहले उन्होंने चाय पिलाई मुझे और उसके बाद हमारा वार्तालाप हुआ, बातचीत हुई. आप मानिए, अमरावती के छोटे से टी स्टॉल में बैठकर उन ताऊ जी को पता है कि पुतिन कब यूक्रेन के ऊपर मिसाइल दागेगा, कब इजराइल और पैलेस्टाइन का युद्ध खत्म होने वाला है, चाइना और ताइवान में क्या अंतर नहीं हो रहा है. मतलब मोदी जी डायरेक्टली उनसे पूछकर ही निर्णय लेते हैं. ही वॉज दैट कॉन्फिडेंट. बट एट द सेम टाइम आपके खुद के शहर में क्या हो रहा है, आर यू अवेयर अबाउट दैट और नॉट? एक आदमी रोटी बेलता है, एक आदमी रोटी खाता है, परंतु इन दोनों के अलावा एक तीसरा आदमी भी जो ना रोटी बेलता है ना रोटी खाता है, वो सिर्फ रोटी से खेलता है. मैं पूछता हूं, यह तीसरा आदमी कौन है? मेरे देश की संसद मौन है. When I see today's embedded India and I see amazing things happening, कि हमारे देश के लोग चांद तक भी जा रहे हैं, but at the same time इंदौर के अंदर जब लोग खराब पानी पीने से मर जाते हैं तो एक एमएलए साहब को मंदिर की घंटी की याद आ जाती है. That is what's happening absolutely in different corners of the country. और इसीलिए मैंने कहा था, you have to work for the betterment of this nation, this wonderful country that people have sacrificed their lives for. और जब मैं इसकी ओर देखता हूँ, I wrote this line 3 years ago and I think they are very pertinent today. गांधी जी की एक पंक्ति याद रखिए, डेवलपमेंट तब तक नहीं है जब तक पंक्ति में खड़े हुए आखिरी व्यक्ति तक संसाधन नहीं पहुंच जाते. When I see these differences across India, I sit in Delhi and I sit in these 5-star hotels. When I know a lot of people are facing problems, then I say these lines कि मैंने असमंजस के अवलोकन में अस्तित्व का अंत किया. मैंने असमंजस के अवलोकन में अस्तित्व का अंत किया. क्षण क्षण क्षीण होती सभ्यता का क्षण 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 तंत्र किया. समाज की इस विषमता का अंतर केवल इतना है, जिस रोटी के टुकड़े को गरीब खून बहाते हैं, उसी रोटी के टुकड़े को अमीर झूठन में छोड़ जाते हैं. देश हम सभी से मिलकर बनता है और इसलिए एक छोटा सा लेसन मैं आप लोगों को जरूर दे रहा हूं. समाज में सबसे नीचे पायदान के लोग हों, जिसने माइक बनाया, जिसने हमें पानी दिया, जिसने गुलदस्ते लगाए, जिन लोगों ने टेक्निकल टीम ने सब कुछ सुलझाया, जिन लोगों ने इस कमरे को साफ किया होगा, समाज के सबसे नीचे पायदान पर जो लोग हैं, उनके प्रति व्यवहार सबसे बेहतरीन रखिए. They are dependent on everything. That is one lesson that you need to learn. Is that clear? That is what makes this country great. That is what makes us amazing. और आप तो उस धरती से आते हैं जहां एक महान व्यक्ति रहे थे. एक लड़का जिसे पढ़ने का अधिकार नहीं था, स्कूल में जाता था तो कक्षा से बाहर निकाल दिया गया. नाई से बाल कटवाने गया तो नाई ने उसे बाहर कर दिया. जिस लड़के को पढ़ने का अधिकार नहीं था, उस लड़के ने दुनिया का सबसे बेहतरीन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लिखकर मेड दिस द लार्जेस्ट डेमोक्रेसी इन द वर्ल्ड. डॉक्टर अंबेडकर कम्स फ्रॉम योर ओन वेरी स्टेट. यू नीड नॉट टू गो फॉर इंस्पिरेशन इन अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. इज दैट क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? अब वी हैव लर्नड 4 इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन्स. अब जो मैंने आपसे सवाल पूछा था, व्हाट डू यू थिंक आई वांटेड टू बिकम व्हेन आई वाज यंग? एनीवन? जिसने बताया उसको मेरी तरफ से एक इनाम मिलेगा, द करेक्ट वन. एनीवन हु वांट्स टू आंसर? एनीवन? Yes, yes, you can. There is no need of mic. There is no. You can directly say.
Maybe a lawyer.
Baby oil?
Lawyer. Lawyer.
Sorry?
Lawyer.
Baby lawyer.
A lawyer.
Okay. No. Anyone else?
Maybe आपको यूपीएससी देनी थी.
वो तो ऑलरेडी मैं कर रहा हूँ. एनीथिंग एल्स उसके अलावा?
Maybe
Lecturer.
doctor or engineer.
Lecturer.
ओके. एनीथिंग एल्स? आप लोग बहुत कम आंक रहे हैं मुझे. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू गेस. एनीथिंग एल्स?
Sir. Sir here.
यस यस.
Maybe doctor or engineer.
ओके.
As usual in India actually.
वेरी गुड. वेरी स्टीरियोटिपिकल आंसर.
I think a politician.
That I'm also doing. Anything? That I'm also doing. Anything else?
Sir, maybe an Indian.
Maybe an Indian?
Yeah.
नहीं, आप लोगों को मेरी दाढ़ी ज्यादा लग रही है. मैं यहीं से हूँ. You need not to worry. I'm from India only. Anything else?
Youth speaker or debater?
तो अभी मैं
Yeah, you are.
okay. We'll take one more. Yes.
Maybe a Prime Minister of India.
Let's see how that goes. बड़ी अच्छा आपने बोला, आपने कहा प्राइम मिनिस्टर, आपने नहीं कहा करप्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया. थैंक यू सो मच. एनी हाउ,
सर आपको ऐसा इंसान बनना होगा. मतलब जब हम बच्चे रहते हैं ना तो सोचते कि ऐसा इंसान होना चाहिए आगे वाला, तो आपको लगता होगा आपको ऐसा इंसान बनना है जो सब बच्चे कह सके कि हाँ ऐसा वगैरह अच्छा है वगैरह टाइप. इंस्पिरेशन बनना
तो
होगा.
बेसिकली आप कह रहे हो कि सर आप अच्छे इंसान नहीं है. अभी
नहीं,
आपको
नहीं सर आप है, आपको ऐसे बनना होगा ऐसा लगता
नहीं, जबरदस्ती नहीं है बच्चे.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, नहीं सर.
एनी हाउ, आई आंसर. और ये मैं सवाल इसलिए कहता हूँ क्योंकि बहुत लोग कर ही नहीं सकते जो आप अपने सामने जिस लड़के को बोलते हुए देख रहे हैं. I come from a very small Haryanvi Jat family from Sonipat. When I was 5 and 6 years old, there were two jobs in our family, army and wrestling. Only two things. तो अभी आप मुझे देखकर बिल्कुल नहीं बता पा रहे होंगे, बट मैंने हिंदुस्तान को एक इंटरनेशनल और 2 नेशनल मेडल्स बॉक्सिंग और रेसलिंग में दिलवाए हैं in 2015, 16 and 17. The reason I shared this with you is, बच्चों, and this is my vision to all of you, because हम में बहुत ज़्यादा एज गैप नहीं है, 2-3 साल का है. Life is very very unpredictable. Life can take you anywhere in the world. और जो मैं एंड करूँगा एक स्टोरी से करूँगा, वो मैं आपको तब बताऊँगा. But me, who wanted to be a wrestler in my life, is today working with central ministries and government of India and United Nations. I had absolutely no idea that I'll come here. अंग्रेजी तो बहुत दूर की बात है, हिंदी भी मुझसे मेरी जुबान से नहीं निकलती थी. And I've come here. Life is, what is the word I use? Unpredictable. तो अपने सपनों में भरोसा रखना आपकी जिम्मेदारी है. Is that clear? That is the lesson through my story. You have to believe in your story, in your dreams, no matter how small they are. आज मुझे यहाँ कुछ बच्चे मिले फेयर के अंदर. They're making paper soaps, small things like that. It can become a unicorn in the 5 years. All you have to do is absolutely believe in yourself. Is that clear? That is your lesson number 5. The world is not going to come to help you. The world will not help you. The world will put insecurities in your head. You're not smart, you're not tall, you're not good looking, you're not hardworking, you don't have the money, you don't come from a right college, you don't come from a right city, you don't even have any employed amount of resources to do anything in your life. You tell to the world that I don't care, I will do the best with what God has given me. That is your biggest motivator in life. So आप लोग एक मेरे साथ एक छोटा से बात दोहराएंगे. I'll say never, what will you say? Give up. मतलब give up, never give up. Is that clear? Never. ये तो आपने give up कर ही दिया इतनी आराम से. Never. Never. Always. Always believe in your dreams, young people. Let's come to the final conclusion of, and after this I'll take some questions. And I'll explain कि अगर आपके वो सवाल हो कि सर हम public policy में कैसे जा सकते हैं, I'll answer them through the questions. Right now I want to deliberately put this down. एक और जो बड़ी समस्या अभी देश में हो गई है, there is high amount of insensitivity. I used to tell you when we were youngsters, we used to joke about religion and caste and these sort of things with each other because that makes you comfortable with each other. But right now, things are so sensitive, you cannot talk about certain things and that is a very, very wrong thing. Marie Curie का नाम आप लोगों में से किस-किसने सुना है? Oh, we have some Marie Curies here as well. पहली Nobel laureate महिला जिसे मिला. Do you know even after she published her paper, the French Academy of Science still rejected her क्योंकि उनको लगा कि एक लड़की को ऐसे कैसे मिल सकता है. How many of you know about smallpox? How many of you have smallpox? Hopefully none of them. आज से 200 साल पहले smallpox की वजह से हर साल हर सदी में लगभग 200 मिलियन लोगों की मृत्यु होती थी. वैक्सीन दुनिया में थी, everything was available. लोग इस्तेमाल इसलिए नहीं कर रहे थे because the church said that it is unnatural and not fit for human beings. Today the remedy has come and the world is almost unfree. That is why the world is made by courageous people who do not give up. Is that clear to all of you? Courage is what will make you strong. तो ये मेरा आपको फाइनल एनेक्डोट है. आज के बाद किसी नेता या राजनीतिक नेता से डर लगे, किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से डर लगे, तो आप याद रखिएगा, द पावर इन पीपल विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन पीपल इन पावर. मैं दोबारा रिपीट कर रहा हूँ. द पावर इन पीपल विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन पीपल इन पावर. It's their responsibility to be answerable to you. Napoleons of the world will die. People will survive. Don't be scared of BJP, Congress, or these political parties. Why? Because they are finitude. They are absolutely non-trivial. They do not have permanency. कि जो आज साहिबे मसनद हैं कल नहीं होंगे. कि जो आज साहिबे मसनद हैं कल नहीं होंगे. किराएदार हैं, जाती मकान थोड़ी है, और सभी का खून है शामिल यहां की मिट्टी में, किसी के बाप का हिंदुस्तान थोड़ी है. You all will decide the future of this country, young people. इन सब बातों को याद रखना, अपने सपनों में वजन रखना. अगर सुदूर तमिलनाडु में एक नाव खेने वाले का लड़का सोच सकता है कि मैं एक दिन सैटेलाइट बनाकर इंडिया का मिसाइल मैन बनूंगा, तो आप सब भी डॉक्टर कलाम बन सकते हैं आज. और ये लड़कियों के लिए खासकर है. फॉर यू एजुकेशन हैज नॉट बीन अ राइट, इट्स अ प्रिविलेज. फर्क समझ आता है आप लोगों को? इट्स नॉट अ राइट, इट्स अ प्रिविलेज. ऑल द वुमेन हियर, आप उस जमीन पर खड़े हैं जहां सावित्री बाई फुले जब गांव में लड़कियों को पढ़ाने जाया करती थी तो उन्हीं पर ही गोबर और पत्थर लोग फेंका करते थे. शी डिडंट गिव अप, शी डिडंट गिव हर राइट. I'll give you one more example. खैबर पख्तून, पाकिस्तान, मलाला यूसुफजाई, 11 साल की एक छोटी बच्ची बस्ता टांगे स्कूल में जाती है. आतंकवादी कहते हैं कल स्कूल में दिखे तो यहां पर गोली मारी जाएगी. 11 साल की लड़की हिम्मत दिखाकर कहती है, I will go to the school, I don't care about this. Goes to the school next day. 2 गोलियां लगती हैं, एक यहां और यहां. हम में से ज्यादातर लोग हिम्मत हार लेते. एक हफ्ते बाद, I'm talking about 1 week, look at the courage of that 11-year-old girl. एक हफ्ते बाद वो अकेली नहीं, अपनी 5 और सहेलियों के साथ दोबारा बस्ता उठाकर उसी स्कूल में जाती है. और आज जिस लड़की को पढ़ने का अधिकार उसके देश में नहीं था, becomes the youngest Nobel laureate around the world. और जिस लड़की को पढ़ने नहीं दिया जाता था, उसकी वजह से लाखों लड़कियां दुनिया में पढ़ रही हैं. This is the power that is there in all of you, young people. Ab, because I want to take some questions from your side as well and end on that final story. There is a big gap, even after all this. और मैं बहुत frustration से बात कहता हूँ. There are so many good people in this country who are doing amazing work. और मुझे देखकर तो लोग बहुत परेशान हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि एक दिन मैं RSS के दफ्तर में रहता हूँ, अगले दिन मैं कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी में चला जाता हूँ. Because I like to take knowledge. एक चीज ध्यान रखना बच्चों, at this stage when you're in, don't be afraid of knowledge. Left wing, right wing, center, BJP, Congress, communist, anything that you want to put your eyes into, learn everything. You do not know what is going to help you in life. But एक बड़ी बात जो मुझे दिखती है, और आपके आंसर से मुझे पता लगेगा ऐसा होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए. आज one big problem that I see, there is a huge gap between the politicians and the common people that are working. There is a huge gap in every political party, and I can say this because I've worked at the central level with almost every political party. Every political party. The ones who have lost, the ones who are in power, there are good and bad people in every political party, by the way. नेताओं के बारे में परसेप्शन बनानी बंद कीजिए कि ये तो सिर्फ करप्ट लोग हैं, पैसा कमाना, ऐसा नहीं है. They want to do the good work, but it's you people. जब तक आप लोग इलेक्शन के समय में 2-2 हज़ार के लिए अपना वोट देते रहेंगे, तो कहाँ से हम एजुकेशन हब और द टेक्नोलॉजिकल हब ऑफ द वर्ल्ड बनेंगे? Is that clear? And that is why I say the space between the political leadership and the common people should be connected to each other. And that is why I say, और मैं चाहता हूँ आप सभी ये बात अपने मस्तिष्क में सुने, क्योंकि जब आप लोग मुझे हिम्मत देते हैं तो मुझे हिम्मत मिलती है. I can also say to my ministers, for them I am working, कि the people have told me this. जिस दिन एक प्रधानमंत्री का बेटा और एक चपरासी का बेटा उसी सरकारी स्कूल में जाएगा, जिस दिन एक कलेक्टर का इलाज और किसान का इलाज उसी सरकारी अस्पताल में होगा, और जिस दिन इस देश के नेताओं को नेता बनने से पहले इंडियन पॉलिटिकल सर्विस नाम का एग्जाम देना पड़ेगा, उस दिन इस देश में एजुकेशन, हेल्थ केयर और डेवलपमेंट तीनों बेहतर हो जाएंगे. I hope that you get some lessons from all this. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आज मेरे बात करने के बाद अपने चौराहे में आप क्रांति करने के लिए खड़े हो जाएं और फिर कहें यतिन सर FIR हो गई है। क्रांति सड़कों पे चलने से नहीं आती, किताबें लिखने से भी आती, किसी अंधे व्यक्ति को सड़क क्रॉस कराने से भी आती, एक पेड़ लगाने से भी क्रांति होती। Do the revolution with what you can do your best. And finally, I'll be ending because I wanted to end on a positive note. Do you think I'm a good speaker, everyone? अच्छा इंसान तो आपने बता दिया मैं नहीं हूं. At least I'm a good speaker. ये छोटी सी घटना मैं आपके साथ शेयर करना चाहता था, and we'll end on a positive note. All of you relax, and after this we'll take some questions, right? All of you active? Are all of you active? Are all of you active? जैसा मैंने आपको बताया, अभी जो मैं आपके सामने बोल रहा हूँ जैसा भी, आई हैड नो कनेक्शन विद पब्लिक स्पीकिंग. तो मैं आपको लेके चलता हूँ अपने जीवन में, जब मैंने अपनी लाइफ की पहली स्पीच दी थी, सो दैट यू कैन लर्न अ स्मॉल लेसन फ्रॉम दैट. और ये लेसन शायद मेरी जिंदगी का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट लेसन है और आप लोगों को भी बहुत मदद करने वाला है. 7th या 8th क्लास तक तो हम कुश्ती ही किया करते थे. हमारे लिए स्कूल का मतलब होता था मिड डे मील, कुश्ती, और उसके बाद घर चले जाना. स्कूल में पीट कर आना, घर में पिटना, खाना खाना, एंड रिपीटेड द साइकिल रिपीटेड. घर में आप पिट रहे हो, स्कूल में पीट कर आ रहे हो, द साइकिल गेट्स रिपीट. दैट यूज्ड टू बी माय लाइफ. 9th क्लास, हमारी मैथ्स की प्राध्यापिका को पता नहीं उस दिन ऐसा क्यों लगता है, व्हाई डज शी थिंक कि यतिन यू विल गिव अ स्पीच ऑन 15th of August. और हरियाणा के जो लोग होते हैं उनके बारे में आपको एक चीज बताता हूं, हम बचपन से ही ना ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट और नार्सिसिस्टिक पैदा होते हैं. तो हमें लगता है कि ऐसी कोई चीज है ही नहीं जो हम नहीं कर सकते. मतलब कल को अगर कह दिया जाए कि मोदी जी कह दें कि चाइना पे कब्जा कर, हम कर लेंगे, हमारी तरफ से हो जाएगा. Now the teacher has asked me to give a speech and I have absolutely no idea, no relation to public speaking. मुझे तो हाथ चलाने आते हैं सिर्फ. बट उस दिन मैंने कहा कि अगले दिन बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, पूरी मैं तैयारी कर कर रात को बैठा और पेज के ऊपर भगत सिंह, सुखदेव, सुभाष चंद्र बोस और इंडिया और 47 पूर्ण स्वराज, सब कुछ तैयारी कर कर एक पेज लिखकर चला गया. माइंड यू, आई एम 9th क्लास और अगले दिन मुझे असेंबली में क्लास लेनी थी. आप सभी स्कूल में रहे, आपने देखा है 15 अगस्त को क्या होता है, एवरीवन इज स्टैंडिंग वगैरह. सुबह के 10 बजते हैं, मेरा नाम स्टेज पर अनाउंस होता है और मैं फुल कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ, देखो अगर मैं बाकी किसी स्टेट से होता तो मैं पेज लेकर जाता, बट मैं कहां से हूं, हरियाणा. तो हमें पेज की जरूरत क्यों होगी, पेज को हमारी जरूरत पड़ने वाली है ना. तो आई थॉट आई एम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट, व्हाई डू आई नीड अ पेज. आई गो ऑन दिस स्टेज, और बच्चों दिस इज द लेसन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. आई एम स्टैंडिंग ऑन द स्टेज, आई एम गिविंग माई फर्स्ट स्पीच. 5 सेकेंड के लिए सारा कॉन्फिडेंट गायब हो जाता है. एवरीथिंग ब्लैंक्स आउट फ्रॉम माई माइंड. क्योंकि पहली बार मुझे पता लगा हाथ चलाना और जुबान चलाने में बहुत फर्क होता है. वो जो आग की तरह बच्चों की आंखें मुझे देख रही थी गुस्से से, आई फॉरगॉट एवरीथिंग. बट मैंने क्या कहा, अगर मैं दूसरे स्टेट से होता तो चुप हो जाता, बट मैं कहां से हूं, और हम लोग क्या होते हैं. अब मुझे था कि अगर मैं बिना कुछ बोले चला गया तो मेरी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. तो मुझे याद आया कि जब हम लोग 2nd 3rd क्लास में हुआ करते थे तो इंग्लिश में ज़्यादा कुछ तो आता नहीं था. मुझे याद है हमारे टीचर ने माई सेल्फ हमें ज़रूर रटवाया था. तो आप इमेजिन करिए वहाँ पर सभी टीचर्स और बच्चे बात कर रहे हैं, इंडिया इज़ अ ग्रेट कंट्री, भारत ने स्वतंत्रता ली, अंग्रेज़ों को हराया, और मैं वहाँ पर खड़े होकर आता हूँ, माई नेम इज़ यतिन, आई हैव 1 father, आई हैव 1 mother, आई कम फ्रॉम दिस विलेज, आई हैव 2 brothers, आई हैव 1 cow and 1 buffalo, and everyone is laughing like this. और उसके बाद सब लोग हंस रहे हैं. और मेरी प्राध्यापिका, मैथ्स की टीचर जिन्होंने मुझे कहा था, नेवर फॉरगेट हर नेम, मुझे कहती बेटा आप साइड खड़े हो जाओ. मुझे तो साइड इसलिए खड़ा गया, मैंने खराब बोला. मेरे दिमाग में मुझे लग रहा है कि मैंने इतना बेहतरीन बोला है कि मुझे अलग से रखा गया. बेटा आप इन आम बच्चों के साथ नहीं, यू आर अ स्पेशल किड. बट उस जिंदगी की जो छोटी सी घटना थी बच्चों, अगर मैं उस दिन स्टेज पर चुप हो जाता तो जिंदगी में कभी नहीं बोल पाता. दैट वन लाइफ लेसन टॉट मी दैट द वर्ल्ड विल लाफ ऑन यू, the world will make fun of you, the world will doubt you, prudent you, expedite you. You have to believe in yourself even when no one is supporting you. This is the biggest lesson that you have to believe in. And on the lines of Atal Bihari Vajpayee and all of you, कि टूटे हुए सपनों की सुने कौन सिसकी, अंतर को चीर व्यथा पलकों पर ठिठकी, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूं, मैं गीत नया गाता हूं, मैं गीत नया गाता हूं. So now I think we can take some questions. 5 questions, that's it, not more than that. और आप लोगों के सवाल अच्छे रखिएगा. Good questions. Saurabh, why don't you start?
Sir, what golden advice will you give to a new young generation to keep away them from various type of bad addictions?
बड़ी सिंपल सी बात है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट आपने सवाल किया कि आज की जनरेशन जो है ना, दे आर द मोस्ट डिप्रेस्ड जनरेशन इन द एंटायर ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री. क्योंकि क्या है, आप इंस्टाग्राम खोलकर देख सकते हो. ओके, सो दे हैव टोल्ड मी कि सर आप जल्दी खत्म कीजिए, ओरल पार्टिसिपेंट्स को आना है, वी अंडरस्टैंड इट. सो विल टेक जस्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस, वन दिस एंड वन मोर. आई विल गिव यू वन सिंपल एडवाइस बच्चों. पहला जो आपकी जिंदगी में आपको समझने की जरूरत है, और इस लाइन को आप लोग ध्यान से सुनिएगा. Your competition is not who someone else is today. I repeat it. Your competition is not who someone else is today. Your competition is who you were yesterday. You are your only competition. So the first thing is, जितनी हम गलत चीज़ों में जाते हैं ना ज़िंदगी में, आप लोगों को कभी ऐसा हुआ है ज़िंदगी में कि आप नॉर्मल अच्छा लाइफ जी रहे थे, अचानक से आपका मन किया, why don't I light a cigarette? मैं बम क्यों नहीं गिरा देता हूँ किसी बिल्डिंग पर? Because all these things come when you start comparing yourself to other people, their life, their credibility, but their journey has been very different. अगर आज आप बैठकर YouTube में एक 16 साल के लड़के को देखकर कहते हो, is a millionaire, why I'm not at that situation, his situation is very different from you. One thing is, do not compare yourself to other people. किसी के लिए सक्सेस का मतलब हो सकता है कि 500 करोड़ का घर और 20 करोड़ की गाड़ी, और किसी के लिए सक्सेस का मतलब हो सकता है अपने परिवार के साथ पहाड़ों पर छुट्टियां बिताना. You have to decide your definition, not the other people. Is that clear?
Good afternoon, sir. With due consideration and thoughtful aspects, and I just want to pose a question to you. Now, I don't think there'll be any major course correction in the direction of your career path. What are your future ambitions and aspirations from now onwards?
That's a very good. And firstly, I think sir ने आपके लिए first prize भी donate किया है, right? So huge round of applause for sir as well. ऐसे बहुत सारे अच्छे लोग, मतलब मैं हर जगह कहता हूँ कि ना हिंदू की ज़रूरत है, ना मुस्लिम की ज़रूरत है, राष्ट्र निर्माण के लिए सिर्फ एक अच्छे व्यक्ति की ज़रूरत है. And people like him are the examples. So a round of applause again for people like him who are contributing. Sir, my future ambitions, very simple. Right now, I'm working with Dr. Ajay Shankar in External Affairs, and I'm working with Dr. Mansukh Mandviya in Youth Affairs. Hopefully, आज से 1-2 साल के बाद I get shifted to the New York office of United Nations, और हिंदुस्तान की आवाज़ अभी तो मैं हिंदुस्तान में रख रहा हूँ, विश्व पटल पर भी I hope कि हिंदुस्तान की आवाज़ में पहुँचा पाऊँ and represent all of you.
All the best. Good luck, sir.
Jai Hind to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Yatin, for your insightful and motivating address. Now let us begin an inspiring session of ideas and dialogues. To ensure academic rigor, fairness, and scholarly guidance for this technical session, we are privileged to have with us 2 distinguished judges whose expertise will enrich today's deliberation. We extend a warm and respectful welcome to our honorable judges for technical session 1.
Our judges for technical sessions are Dr. Mohanish Bokhad, Associate Professor, Department of Botany, Government Vidarbha Institute of Science and Humanities; Dr. Vaibhav Thakre, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, Government Vidarbha Institute of Science and Humanities, Amravati; Dr. Piyush Dalke, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department; Professor Durgesh Borse, Associate Professor in English, Government Vidarbha Institute of Science and Humanities; Dr. Bhushan Baviskar, Associate Professor, Government College of Pharmacy, Amravati. Now, before the technical sessions commence, I will want to tell you the participants of oral presentations, the rules or the guidelines. So, each presenter will get 5 minutes for the 5 minutes, sorry. Each presenter will get 7 minutes for the presentation. In that 7 minutes, 5 minutes time for your presentation and 2 minutes for discussion. After 4 minutes, there will be a short warning bell, and after 5 minutes, there will be a long bell. I again tell you the guidelines and rules. Each presenter will get total 7-minute time. In it, 5 minutes for your presentation and 2 minutes for discussion and questioning. After 4 minutes, there will be a short warning bell, and after 5 minutes, there will be a long bell. Thank you, and all the best to all participants. Thank you so much.
Let us welcome our esteemed judges with a round of applause. Their valuable insights, critical evaluation, encouragement will greatly inspire our young presenters and add depth to this session of oral presentation.
We are going to start the technical session once oral presentations. All the student participants, student delegates are requested to submit their PPTs if they have brought. Is there anyone who has not submitted? Okay. The poster presentation session will be conducted tomorrow, not today, because we will have our oral presentations by around 5:30 in this particular hall. Thank you.
Let us call upon participant number 1 for this oral presentation. His name, Parth Kadu. Parth Ravindra Kadu.
ये पॉइंटर पॉज के लिए ना ओके ओके ओके
You are required to keep your poster as it is. Don't remove it from there. Tomorrow, if you are here, then present before your poster. But if you want to go somewhere today, then don't leave it. The time allotted for oral presentation for each participant is 5 minutes only. After 5 minutes, the session will be open for discussion only for 2 minutes. So you have got 7 minutes time, 5 minutes for presentation, 2 minutes for question answer session. First participant, code number OP1.
PPT. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chairperson, teachers, professors, and my fellow participants. My name is Parth Kadu. I am the student of Bachelor of Law from G.H. Raisoni University. Crime. My case study is on nature of crime and what are their impacts on the society. Crime is not merely a violation of law, but it's a violation of society. Crime it disturbs and affect the peace and social order. Crime is a public wrong, not just because it happens with society, not just the individual person. It's not working actually. Next. It's not working actually. Okay. Thank you. The objective of my study is threefold. First, to understand nature and meaning of crime under criminal law. Second, what are their impacts on the society, and third, what are their essential elements with suitable case laws. Today's now problem is crime is increasing. Economic offenses, cyber crimes in the digital era are rapidly increasing and increasing the fears in society among peoples and disturb the public order. Crime, but what is the crime? Crime is the act which is prohibited by law. It is the public wrong because it affects the whole society as a whole, not just a private wrong. That's why state prosecutes the offender and punishes and prescribe the punishment for it. But what are the types of offenses which considers or accounts to the crime? There must be some essential elements of crime which has to be happen. Number one, actus reus, which is the guilty mind. Number two, mens rea, that means guilty intention. Number third is injury or some harm conducted by human. And the fourth is law prescribe the punishment for that act. Now, what causes the crime? There is social causes like lack of education, lack of legal awareness, poverty. Due to poverty, many of the peoples entering into the crime unknowingly, bad social environment, and also media. Yes, we heard it right, media, because media is one of the important pillars of democracy. We all know democracy have 4 important pillars: legislative, executive, judiciary, and media. हम सब एवरीडे लाइफ में मीडिया, चाहे वो सोशल मीडिया हो या न्यूज़ चैनल हो, so there is the good and bad influence about the media, and also a weak law enforcement. Now, it causes a very serious impact on our society. It creates a fear and insecurity. It disturbs the public peace and law order. It also it also harm to the economy, because when fear increases in the society, people doesn't concentrate and contribute to your nation. And to consider the to understand better elements of crime, we'll have a look at two important case law. Number one is State of Maharashtra versus Muhammad Yaqub. In this judgment, Supreme Court importance of two major elements, that is the actus reus and mens rea, that highlights two important things to define a crime. And similarly, in Nathulal case, this case highlights that without intention there must be not crime. So presence of guilty mind and guilty intention is necessary, where law play a vital role in controlling the crime. It define offenses, police investigations, also forensic investigations, and also
Any questions to be asked? Thank you. You all are required to be present in this hall because just like you are, for example, poster presenters, or you have prepared your own model, you need audience. In the same manner, oral presenters also require your encouragement, and that's why we are going to conduct poster presentations and model presentations tomorrow. So that is the only reason, not to trouble anybody. The main reason is here oral presenters also should be encouraged with your esteemed presence. Thank you. Now participant number OP2, Vishal. Participant code OP2, Vishal Hodade. Is he present? Okay, we will move forward. OP3, Kullur Subramaniam Ayyadurai sir. As I have mentioned in the inaugural function, he is the youngest person to participate in NSC 2K26, and he is only 72 years of age. A big round of applause for him. There is no bar to learning, and this person especially proves this.
Good afternoon to everybody. One small appeal to the judges. I am not going to compete because there has to be a fair level playing field. Most of the other participants are 1/3 of my age, so it's not at all fair, proper or reasonable for me to compete with them. I have seen enough of life and had a very vast exposure of experience of men and things. So please don't evaluate me. I will be outside the competition, but I'll participate. I want to remain young to keep pace with most of the younger faces. I'll submit my viewpoints, but don't evaluate. I will not accept any prize, and I don't want to stand in the way of many more needy, deserving youngsters to clinch the prizes. Good afternoon to all of you. Thanks for your kind audience. Respected judges, my topic will be, I may not be keep pace with the slides because I have to give the slides for formal submission's sake. I'll be just giving the viewpoints without even referring to them because I have prepared enough. I have spent enough time. I'm an old man. Please be patient to listen to me. Now the time can start now, not prior to this. Okay, please readjust your clock. I require 5 minutes plus. Right. You know, there are many useful drugs, chemical molecules which are called lead molecules when it is able to cure your diseases inside your body. A chemical molecule is called a lead molecule only when it is found to be useful, purposeful, to interact with your metabolic activity, to serve as a good drug, medicine, or a pesticide, or agrochemical, or micronutrient, whatever you may call it as, depending on the various end uses. Now, ibuprofen, paracetamol, very useful drugs. Can you consume it directly into your body? You cannot. You have got prescribed dose based on the weight of the body and the physique of the body. You have to make it into a usable form, maybe an emulsifiable concentrate, suspension, dispersion, capsules, ointment, lotion, and whatnot, all those things. the conversion of the useful chemical lead molecule into usable form, we call it as formulation. Formulation is very important as consumption of the medicine, because the medicine can be consumed only in the appropriate form, appropriate formulation. It can be an emulsifiable concentrate, emulsion. I hope most of you will be knowing what is emulsion is. Milk is an emulsion. If I tell you something, you will laugh at me. You know ghee, thup. Suppose if you put ghee in water and add some special chemicals, it becomes milk. That is called emulsion. Because how do you get ghee? You take milk, you allow the proteins and fats to get coagulated, precipitated, you decant it, take the solid, churn it out, melt it, and you get ghee. See the reverse process. Put ghee in water, add some very special chemicals, emulsifier, then you get milk. Is it possible? The answer is yes. Take soya oil, I can give you an emulsifier. I am a specialist in that, I am a consultant. You can make soya milk. Okay. Much the same way, most of the chemicals are used in useful formulations. Like for example, pediatric drugs which you give it to children, paracetamol or vitamin C or all those suspensions. Gelusil, you may be consuming as an antacid. It is a suspension. Calcium oxide, alumina, with the permissible flavor and colors, you make it into suspension and consume it. So these are all the very essential, important ingredient of various forms in which you use the medicine. Pesticide, malathion, endosulfan, chloroform. There are so many other useful pesticides which you can apply on the plants only after you make a proper formulation. Wet dispersible powder, emulsion, or dry powder with proper blending and all. Now I am doing PhD on this after having completed my MSc very recently. In all this formulation, we care more for only the quality, the stability, and the dispersibility, and the suspensibility, and the uniform availability of the active ingredient consistently in the entire portion of the formulation. But we give a lot of importance to the quality and stability, but we do not focus more on the cost as a scientific factor to stabilize the formulation, because we don't care for the cost. For example, the emulsifier is a very, very costly input, but you can reduce the cost of emulsifier by altering other formulation aspects. For example, if you stir it, blend it more for a longer time, it is a matter of leveraging between, one more minute I have, right? It's a matter of leveraging between the higher emulsifiable cost vis-a-vis a higher process energy, process blending energy. You leverage between the two and see that we minimize and optimize the cost so that you end up with the most cost-effective formulations. Because as such, the medicines are unaffordably prohibitive. Most of the essential anti-cancer or anti-inflammable or antipyretic drugs and all. We don't want to enhance the cost further by adding on to the formulation cost. We want to minimize it. So this area, cost as a scientific factor in reducing the overall formulation cost, that is our area of interest, and I am working on that, and we have successfully conducted a lot of trials in this direction in pharmaceutical drugs and also in pesticides plus agrochemicals and micronutrients. And thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank the organizers for this wonderful opportunity for allowing me to speak. With a small sentence I will complete. The world is large, the opportunities are plenty, life is long, and there are many inspiring entrepreneurial speakers are available, and forums are available, platforms are available like this. I wish everyone the very best of luck to progress, develop, and reach all heights in life. Good luck to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Topic is open for discussion.
I should face the question. If you could take the last slide, which I have in fact solicited questions from all of you, without your penultimate. Yeah, please oblige. Yeah, please, please. I'll be happy to interact. Antibiotics.
Resistance. As using of antibiotics, doctors mostly use antibiotics repeated, same, and the what? As mostly doctors use antibiotics many a time, same, repeated antibiotics, like paracetamol content is in every medicine, mostly. Then body get resistance. So what are the solutions that we can stop that resistance part?
It is slightly outside the purview of this platform, but what little biochemistry I know, the antibiotics are of various stages where it's a very wide spectrum. Initially we try with less severe one, milder one, and we end up with wilder one. And when you reach the top of that, then you have to go to some other highly avoidable chemicals. Now what I'm trying to tell you, I am not into that. This is outside the purview of my talk. I am only confining myself to the formulation of drugs and pharmaceutical items. Only formulation, not synthesizing chemicals. So I'm not a competent man to talk on that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for this informative presentation. Next participant, Prajwal Wankhede, OP4.
Hello. गुड इव्हनिंग एव्हरीवन. मी मराठीमध्ये बोलतोय. सर्वांना नमस्कार. माझं नाव प्रज्वल वानकडे. मी BSc फर्स्ट इयर इथलाच विद्यार्थी आहे. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एन्व्हायरमेंटल सायन्सकडून अरवल्ली या टॉपिकवर मी डिस्कशन आणि केस स्टडी करायला इथे आलेलो आहे. माझं टॉपिक आहे डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ अरवल्ली अँड इट्स इम्पॅक्ट ऑन अवर एन्व्हायरमेंट अँड मोस्ट प्रॉबेबली दिल्ली NCR. आपल्याला माहीत आहे की दिल्ली NCRमध्ये खूप पोल्युशन आहे. तर मित्रांनो, आपल्याला पोल्युशन कमी करण्यासाठी आपण काय करायला हवं, हा प्रश्न सर्वांच्या मनामध्ये चालतो. ॲज अ स्टुडंट माझ्याही मनामध्ये चालतो. मागच्या 2 महिन्याआधी आपल्या ऑल ओव्हर दी इंडिया सोशल मीडिया यामध्ये खूप कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक झालेला आहे की गव्हर्नमेंटनी अरवल्ली रेंज म्हणजे तिचा डिस्ट्रॉय करायला सुरुवात केलेली आहे. न्यायालयाने म्हणजेच कोर्टनी निर्णय काढला की 100 मीटरच्या खालचे सर्व पर्वतरांगा ह्या पर्वत म्हणून कन्सिडर केले जाणार नाही, कारण त्यांची हाईट ही 100 नाही. गव्हर्नमेंटच्या GRनुसार आणि सोशल मीडियाच्या माध्यमातून मी अशी स्टडी केलेली आहे की अरवल्ली ही खूप प्राचीन आणि ऐतिहासिक पर्वतरांगा आहे, जी भारताला व तसेच संपूर्ण म्हणजे भारतातील राज्यांना थारमधील वाळू यापासून रक्षण करते. त्यामध्ये अरवल्ली हे जे मुख्य काम म्हणजे अरवल्ली आपल्याला 700 किलोमीटरमध्ये पसरलेली दिसते. त्यामध्ये येणारे जे काही राज्य आहेत जसे हरियाणा, दिल्ली, गुजरात, राजस्थानमध्ये थार वाळवंट आहे, ज्याला आपण थार डेझर्ट म्हणतो. त्याची वाळू रोखण्याचे काम व त्याला पसरण्यापासून प्रोटेक्ट करण्याचे काम हे अरवल्ली रेंज करतात. पण मात्र आजच्या काळात ह्याच अरवल्ली रेंज आपल्याला धोक्यात दिसत आहे. मित्र हो, माझा हे केस स्टडी आहे ती यामध्ये अरवल्लीचे काही बॅड इफेक्ट्स आणि काही गुड इफेक्ट्स मी इथे मांडलेले आहे. तर इंट्रोडक्शनमध्ये अरवल्ली खूप प्राचीन आहे. 700 किलोमीटर लांब असलेली पर्वतरांग आहे. भारतातील सर्वात प्राचीन पर्वतरांगा म्हणून कन्सिडर केलेली आहे. अरवल्ली काय आहे? अरवल्ली आपल्या भारताचा श्वास आहे. अरवल्ली भारतातील मान्सून कंट्रोल करते. अरवल्ली थार वाळवंटाला वाढण्यापासून
रोखते. अरवल्लीचं मिनिंग काय आहे? अरवल्ली म्हणजे अशी पवित्र रांगा नव्हे, अरवल्ली आपल्या भारताची आत्मा आहे. तर मित्र हो, अरवल्ली वाचवण्यासाठी आपल्याला भविष्यामध्ये काहीतरी करावं लागेल. कारण की जर अरवल्लीचा ऱ्हास झाला तर संपूर्ण दिल्लीमधील पोल्युशन लेवल आता एक्स्ट्रीम आहे, ते आणखी एक्स्ट्रीम होणार. आपला महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, जे अरवल्लीच्या लगतचे प्रदेश आहे त्यामध्ये थार वाळवंट आपल्याला पसरलेला दिसणार. तसेच अरवल्ली मॉन्सून, तसे ग्राउंड वॉटरनी आणि असंख्य प्राण्यांनी, फ्लोरा आणि फॉनाने भरलेला प्रदेश आहे. तर ओरिजिनल लोकेशन मॅप ऑफ अरवल्ली, अरवल्लीने गुजरात, राजस्थान, दिल्ली आणि हरियाणा ह्या प्रदेश व्यापलेला आहे. 700 किलोमीटर लांबीचा ही पर्वतरांगा आहे. यामध्ये ही पर्वतरांगा मॉन्सूनला कंट्रोल करते. भारतातील मॉन्सून, थार वाळवंट वाढण्यापासूनचे आपल्याला संरक्षण करते. तसेच जर अरवल्ली पर्वत नसला तर संपूर्ण भारतातील क्लायमेट चेंज होऊ शकते. तसेच पोल्युशन लेवल एक्स्ट्रीम होऊ शकते, एक्युआय लेवल हाय होऊ शकते. त्यानुसार त्याचे काही इम्पॉर्टन्स आहे की अरवल्ली आपल्यासाठी का बरं इम्पॉर्टन्स आहे. मी तुम्हाला आधी सांगितलेलं आहे की अरवल्ली आपल्या बॅरियर आहे, म्हणजे जे वाळवंटातील वाळू आहे, डेझर्टमधील वाळू आहे, त्यांचं बॅरियर आहे, म्हणजे त्यांच्या अगेन्स्ट हे काम करते. ठीक आहे. डिस्कशन म्हणजे भविष्यामध्ये तुम्ही अरवल्लीला कशा प्रकारे वाचवाल. राहिला ठीक आहे. तर तरी आपल्याला अरवल्लीवर मी लोकसंख्येचा ग्राफ इथे मांडलेला आहे. 1975 साली 5,23,817 तिथली लोकसंख्या होती. 1990 7,42,333 झालेली आहे. 2000 मध्ये 9 लाख, 11 1 करोड, 2015 11 करोड. म्हणजे दिवसेंदिवस तिथली जे लोकसंख्या आहे ती वाढत चाललेली आहे. का? कारण की तिथलं वातावरण जरा सुपीक आहे, म्हणजे तिथं ग्राउंड वॉटर लेवल आहे, फ्लॉरा आणि फॉना सर्व म्हणजे परफेक्ट क्वांटिटीमध्ये प्रेझेंट आहे. पण तरी सरकारने तिला तोडण्याचा निर्णय दिला. एनी टॉपिक क्वेश्चन?
The topic is open for discussion.
सरकार परवानगी नाही दिला, सरकारची परवानगी नकारला गेलेला आहे. सुप्रीम कोर्टच्या रिसेंट निर्णयाप्रमाणे अरवलीला खाली मायनिंग ॲक्टिव्हिटी संपूर्ण बंद आहे. ते सुप्रीम कोर्ट स्वतः ते काळजी घेऊन, आई एम सॉरी, आई एम नॉट गुड एट मराठी. सुप्रीम कोर्ट अपने आप देखते हुए खुद वो अपना हाथ में लेके निर्णय सुनाया कि माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज़ अभी फ़िलहाल बहुत कंडीशन की सब्जेक्ट से ही हो सकता है, नहीं तो अरवली का जो भी greenery that will be preserved, conserved and will be maintained and sustained. That is the most recent development in Aravalli range. इसलिए काळजी घेऊ नका तुम्ही.
ठीक आहे सर. एनी क्वेश्चन?
How you conclude your topic?
Sir, I conclude my topic on social media.
तू इथे कसं काय म्हणजे पॉझिटिव्ह गोष्ट आणि निगेटिव्ह गोष्ट तू काय नेमका कन्क्लूड करशील तुझ्या टॉपिकला घेऊन?
माझ्या टॉपिक पॉझिटिव्ह गोष्ट म्हणजे अरवल्लीचं इम्पॉर्टन्स, आणि नेगेटिव्ह म्हणजे त्याला जर आपण रास केली तर मग त्याचा परिणाम आपल्याला काय होणार हे.
कारण की तू स्टार्टिंगला इंट्रोडक्शनमध्ये बोलला काही पॉझिटिव्ह गोष्टी आहे, काही निगेटिव्ह गोष्टी आहे. तर अरवलीच्या ॲज सच निगेटिव्ह गोष्ट नाही आहे. इट इज बेनिफिशियल फॉर द मेंटेन द इकॉलॉजी अँड इकोसिस्टम अराउंड इट. ओके,
ठीक आहे.
Thank you, Prajwal. Next participant, Aradhya Gaikwad. Aradhya Gaikwad, OP5.
Hello. Greetings to one and all present here. I am Aradhya Gaikwad from DS Pune University, and today I would be presenting on big data and economics. I would like to ask that, and it is a given at this point, many of us would be using ChatGPT and other AI platforms. Could you please give me a hand raise? And I think for even substituting the most mundane tasks of our lives. However, these platforms run on AI, and these platforms run on data, pardon me, and this data has been extracted by consumers almost in a historical manner from the advent of Google, Microsoft, and other big data companies. So, big data can be defined as a data set whose volume, size, complexity, and speed of growth, often characterized by the 3 V's, volume, velocity, and variety, exceed the capability of traditional database software to capture, store, manage, and analyze. However, the effect this can have can be potentially disastrous. When we look at the economic consequences of big data, I would like to start off with an example. Uber and Ola prices are manipulated in real time based on several factors such as the software of your device. For example, if it is iOS, you would be charged significantly higher, and based on the battery level of your mobile, like if it is lower, then the pricing will go up again, which is an almost exploitative measure, and several other factors, your geographic location. So this creates a data monopoly of sorts, because any new entrant does not have access to new information, and any new entrant in the market does not have access to this data. And as I think it was Yatin sir who rightly said that sawal पूछना ही इंसान को इंसान बनाता है. But then when we truly think about it, it is through data that the companies know what questions to ask. And unless they have access to it, they do not ask right questions, especially in the economic sense. In the microeconomic sense of it, I have incorporated multiple lenses of analysis, but I think I'm a little short on time. So I'll sum it up briefly and move to what can be done, perhaps. So as I mentioned, in the micro setting, it creates barriers for entry. At the micro setting, if pricing is individualized, the entire concept of market price, MRP, becomes obsolete. So it creates a phantom inflation of sorts. And how do you measure GDP truly if you do not have these measures in place? In the social setting, it erodes individual autonomy through behavioral engineering and dark patterns. These have been observed in the data even through government surveys. And it almost creates, we talked a lot about colonialism today. This creates a sort of data colonialism, which is an entirely different problem we would be dealing with in the times to come. And this hijacks our rational agent, which tricks us into thinking that we are making rational decisions based on optimization, whereas what we are truly doing is falling for the choice architecture and nudging on which these principles are intelligently designed. So what is it that truly can be done? I think it was Brahmankar sir who mentioned about the startup and the FSSAI regulation. I think we should also have a data regulation, a privacy regulation for companies, because all of this can be measured only and dealt with only in a policy setting and a government context. Because I believe that these big data companies are almost like a dictator, and unlike all dictators, these are successful in making people believe in their own destruction and rather cause it themselves. And the sad part about it is they manage to do so as an unquestionable act of goodness for the betterment of the society. And if I have to sum it up, then, well, big data companies tell people to go to hell in such a way that they ask for directions. So that is about it, the impact they have. And the sad part about it is this never can be truly countered, because in the end these are nationalists of big data. And I would like to quote George Orwell here, that the nationalist not only does not disapprove of atrocities committed by his own side, but he has a remarkable capacity for not even hearing about them. So that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Aradhya. The topic is open for discussion.
Is there any absolute solution to escape from this capitalist surveillance?
If we look at India Stack, which is the India's payments stack that has been globally launched for the technological acceptance of it, I think we can create a digital public infrastructure. In an individual level, it is very hard to do so because these algorithms are so intelligently designed that, let's just say, I will give you a very brief example. One can attempt to bypass this through the use of VPNs for that matter, but then to use that VPN and the cognitive drain that one has to encounter in order to avoid surveillance pricing would lead to cognitive fatigue and eventual irrational decisions. So it is a very vicious loop that they have caught us into. And if any solution that there can be, it is on government's part through data cooperatives, perhaps, like Amul is a cooperative. Data cooperatives can be a similar concept. And I believe it is the responsibility of a government to anticipate challenges that a nation is about to face and work towards it in order to lead to the betterment of the people.
What is your opinion about manipulated data and creating a false picture, which is not a good thing?
Sir, in what context specifically?
Most of the time, data is manipulated.
Right.
And means last few months ago, one reputed company manipulate his data and increase his share price.
Okay. So that is, although statistics is something that should not be used to lie, I think statistics is one very good way to lie about things. And I'm sorry I'm making such a statement in a science college, but it is perhaps the intelligent art of lying in a way that you convince people of the truth while still managing to hide it. And to answer the question, it definitely is in the moral gray area. However, the regulation is mostly to be done on government's part. There is very little we can do. Thank you. I have been asked which AI tool is more preferred, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or, well, there is one option which isn't mentioned over here, Google's Gemini. So particularly for science students, I would like to talk briefly about Google Gemini. They have recently partnered with Jio and they offer their free 18-month subscription plan on true 5G Jio plans, and I think that is the best among them, especially for science. So yeah, that would be it. Any more questions?
Thank you, Aradhya.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Next participant is Srirang Deshmukh, OP6.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Sriranga Deshmukh and I am working as a research scholar at Vidyabharati Mahavidyalaya from the field of humanity, arts and literature. So my topic is From Scroll to Thought, Literature and Critical Thinking in Digital Age. The background is today's youth is very much dopamine consume, I must say. Everyone wants to see the reels which are very minimal in time. And what happens that this creates a certain kind of ideology in students, because what happens when we scroll reels, the algorithm of Instagram allows us to see such reels, same reels again and again. And that's why our ideology inclined towards a certain bent. So I will not scroll slides because it will get hard for me. but I would like to present an idea that if we focus on literature and if we read profoundly in literature, we can enhance our personality, we can deepen it, and we can think critically. For that, I must say that there are some studies or books which are published by universities like soft skills through literature, but according to me it is not enough because people are now relying on computers, so digital humanities have to intervene. If we use digital humanities, we can use platforms such as Project Gutenberg and Hypothesis, Kami, which will allow students to understand what truly literature is, and with the help of reading literature, people can understand, people will understand how to behave in society rather than inclining towards one situation. Thank you.
Topic is open for discussion.
What is your clear objective?
Sorry,
why,
sir.
Why have you selected such topic?
Actually, sir, my clear objective is that students are scrolling very much right now, and because of that scrolling, they are not thinking critically. Critically means is the reel is right or wrong? Because the reel is designed in such a way that it will influence people, and we share it without critically thinking on it. The process of thinking is somehow shortened, and I would like to say that if we include literature in it, literature will give you perspectives, and through literature, students will not only believe in the things, but what they will do, they will try to understand, they will try to interpret what is the difference between right and wrong. Thank you.
Next participant, Tanishka Bhele, OP7.
So, good afternoon everyone. I am Tanishka Bele from Shri Shivaji Science College, Amravati. I am doing my majoring in zoology, and today I am present here to present a presentation on Scan to Learn, the future of interactive education. So, education is rapidly changing. Today's students learn better through the video, audio visuals, and video, audio, and images and animations. Traditional textbooks is mainly depending on the text and static images. For that, we need to combine the textbook and digital content for learning better. What is Scan to Learn? Scan to Learn is blended learning approach for all the students. There is QR codes which is present on key points and images. For if you scan that QR points, then you can directly student access to the videos which is present on the YouTube. Here are some steps. The QR codes is present on the key points, exercise and images. Student can scan the QR code from the smartphone and their tablets. After the scanning the QR codes, the student can access directly to the video for explanation. Here are demonstration. If you scan this code on your mobile phones, the video is playing on the YouTube which is related to cell biology. So this is the video. Next. So what is the benefits of this for students? Encourage curiosity and self-directed learning, improves conceptual clarity through the visual and audio explanation. It supports the different learning speeds, and it also reduces the anxiety for the difficult and abstract subjects. It also benefits for teacher, act as a supplementary teaching aid, saves the classroom times, and ensure a uniform explanation to all the students. Benefits for schools and institutions, cost-effective way to introduce the digital learning, supports digital education through the NEP elegant, and it's not need to replace with the existing textbooks. Roles in inclusive education, helps slow learners and disabled students to learn through the video audio and promotes the equal access to all the students. Future of Scan to Learn, AI-based personalized learning, multilingual content for the regional diversity, integrating the AR/VR immersive. Scan to Learn is modernized traditional textbook. It combines the reliability of printed textbook with the digital technology. This approach makes education interactive, inclusive, and future ready. Thank you so much.
The topic is open for discussion.
Do you think digital word or QR can replace the traditional books completely?
No, not completely. QR कोड जो है वो टेक्स्ट बुक के साथ रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि लाइक बायोलॉजी और जूलॉजी जैसे मैं स्टडी कर रही हूँ, यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसे भी एनिमल्स रहते हैं जो हम लैब में लाके उसकी स्टडी नहीं कर सकते, बट अगर हमने वो स्कैन करके उसका 3D मॉडल का वीडियो यूट्यूब पे रहेगा तो हम वो बहुत डीपली अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं और वो एनिमल का अच्छे से एग्जामिन भी कर सकते हैं. Yes. Okay.
हेलो. तमिलनाडु स्टेट बोर्ड जो है पिछले नियर अबाउट 6 साल से वो हर पॉइंट में जो भी चैप्टर्स होते हैं चैप्टर के अंदर हर टॉपिक पे QR कोड दिया है ताकि स्टूडेंट्स वीडियो या उसके रिलेटेड जो भी 3D एनिमेशन है वो देख सके. तो आप और कुछ क्या एक्स्ट्रा बताना चाहते हो? ये ऑलरेडी आ रहा है इसमें,
बट बहुत से टेक्स्ट बुक में आई थिंक अभी तक नहीं आया है.
ओके, तो उसके ऊपर सॉल्यूशन क्या है फिर?
तो आई थिंक यहाँ पे इतने बड़े लोग आए हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि मेरा सबके तो
सॉल्यूशन एक ऐसा है कि अगर आपके टेक्स्ट बुक में आप जो पढ़ाई कर रहे हो नहीं है तो आप AI थ्रू वो 3D में देख सकते हो आज के लिए.
यस बट इट्स इजी आई थिंक कि टेक्स्ट बुक के साथ में ही है तो हम डायरेक्टली वहाँ से स्कैन करके.
आपके PPT में आपने AR/VR लिखा था, राइट?
यस.
So what is the long form AR/VR? Augmented reality, virtual reality, right? Mixed reality. So then why it is आप QR कोड क्यों यूज कर रहे हो? It is a traditional, is a advantage ना AR/VR mixed reality.
Yes.
Then why?
But QR code is easy, so
AR/VR is a 3D generated model, na? It will be reflected. Augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality.
Sorry, but I don't have answer for that.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm overexposing myself. Last year I came to Shivaji College. I met the principal, Dr. Korpe. It's something worthwhile sharing with all of you. He has shown me the annual report, the college day report. It contains a lot of QR codes, but unless you scan, you can't read the complete college report. It is very concise, comfortable. You must give this answer. And today we are in 2026. I can tell you from my subject, Schrodinger equation, wave in 3-dimensional representation, it is not possible, sir, to study the concept only with textbooks unless you resort to imagining the captivating three-dimensional visualization of the wave particle, duality of nature, matter wave, electromagnetic wave, unless you resort to the three-dimensional animated wave pattern, it is not going to be possible in today's context to understand Schrödinger wave equation, which is exactly 100 years back. 1926, Schrödinger found out how the matter wave behaves and what is the equation for its energy and fixation of momentum and particle position. It's not possible to study in textbook alone, but scientists have visualized and done a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Next participant, Kanchan Jane, OP8.
Good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Kanchan Jane. I am a PhD student at Government College of Pharmacy, Amravati. Okay. Resistance starch is a fraction of that starch which resists the digestibility in small intestine, but it reaches in the colon and it acts as a dietary fibers. Then resistance starch, there are 5 types of resistance starch, RS1, RS2, RS3 and RS4 and RS5. This resistance starch promote the glycemic, it improved the glycemic control, gut health, then colon health, and it is useful for the development of functional food for producing lower glycemic starch and dietary fibers. There are different types of techniques for starch modification that are chemical, physical and enzymatic modification, but these techniques use thermal and chemical reagents that can destroy the functional properties and also safety and environmental concerns. So the main aim of this study to employ non-thermal mechanical compression pressure to induce resistance starch formation. So here purified coic starch was subjected to the compression pressure treatment for under compression at 5T, 10T, 15T tons pressure at for 7, 15 and 13 days under controlled temperature and humidity conditions, and their structural and morphological and thermal behavior we are studied by using the DSC, same analysis and XRD. Here, same analysis, with increase in the compression pressure and time durations, it was found that the agglomeration of this granule starch was increased. Same physicochemical properties were aligned with this same analysis. Then we performed the instrumental analysis, and from XRD, IR and DSC, it was found that CRPS 1530D showed a highest crystallinity which will improve the resistance starch in coic starch. Then amylase hydrolysis was performed to confirm where there is increase in the crystallinity will improve the resistance starch formation, and it was found that the CRPCS 1530D have highest resistance with amylase hydrolysis. So from this we perform the animal analysis where there it was found that the body weight high fat diet rats increases the body weight, impaired glucose tolerance and lipid profile. While when we treated CRPCS 30D to rat, it was found that the body weight will maintain and glucose tolerance improved and improve the lipid profile. From this, it was concluded that prolonged mechanical compression effectively modified the native structure of purified coic starch under the low moisture conditions. Then the treatment induced polymorphic structure transformation without the use of chemical or thermal reagents, preserving the starch integrity. Then structural reorganization promoted enhanced resistance starch formation, improved functional and nutritional potential of coic starch. This approach represent a safe, sustainable and environment friendly alternative to
The topic is open for discussion.
What is the botanical name of coix?
Coix lacrima jobi.
Okay, and why we shift traditional source of starch to this coix starch?
सॉरी तो माझा पर्सनल टॉप म्हणजे मी त्याच्यावरती PhD करते. तुम्ही कुठल्याही स्टार्चवरती जर केलं तरी तुम्हाला सेम रिझल्ट मिळू शकतात.
Actually, why you choose that coix and why you shift from traditional to means what is the speciality of this coix?
Sir, this is a gluten-free starch which improve the glycemic activity of human body.
What is the societal impact of your topic?
Sir, it is a simple method for resistant starch formation.
What I am asking, what is the societal impact?
Thank you.
Next participant, Purva Kaskar. Apurva Karaskar. The code is OP9.
A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Apurva Kalaskar, welcome you all to the cleanest city of India. Why I said so? Because I feel really proud sharing with you all that just last year, we, the city of Amravati, were awarded as the first rank in Clean Air Quality Survey 2025. So, considering this, I want you all to just take a deep breath and ask yourself, was that really the cleanest chunk of air you have just had? I know we are sitting in a well-furnished air AC hall, but just go a few minutes back when you were outside in the clean air. And I assume your answer must be no, because the air quality index of today, as of Amravati, as I spoke, the cleanest city of India had AQI 137, and that comes in the category of poor. So just think, if this is the reality of cleanest city of India, what must be the situation of new normal we are now so used to? I am not here for innovation. I am not here for speeches that end with applause. I am here to impact. Because the crisis I want to talk about is not waiting for tomorrow. It is not a distant warning. It is entering our lungs right now at the very moment, silently and relentlessly. Because I'm here to talk about the air we breathe and the future we are slowly losing. We often talk about our career, our goals, our ambitions, our future, but really do we have enough time to talk about the air We desperately need each and every second to survive long enough to achieve them. Across our cities and villages, classrooms and playgrounds, the air around us is carrying poison. And the most frightening part is we have become used to it. Air quality index may sound like a technical term meant for reports and dashboards. But no, my friends, it is a silent warning about how dangerous it has become to simply exist. We have become the first ever generation to fight for something as basic as clean air. And the question I must ask today is simple yet very powerful. If we cannot protect the air we breathe, how can we protect our future? Air quality index below 50 is safe. Above 300 is severe, but 500? No, my friends, it is not air anymore. It is slow poison killing us with every breath. You know, just last year, November 2025, the AQI of Delhi crossed 500. Yes, my friends, the capital of world's largest democracy became a gas chamber. Schools shut down, flights delayed, hospital flooding with patients of all age groups grasping and struggling to breathe. This is not an exaggeration. This is not even a drill. This is today's reality. Just look at all these cutouts telling us the truth we are facing. Doctors now warn us about something really disturbing. A child born in Delhi may grow lungs similar to that of a chain chronic smoker without ever touching a single cigarette. We warn our youth about drugs, about smoking, about alcohol. But what about the air forcing damage onto their lungs with each and every breath? Who is responsible for this? The government, the policymakers, the industries, or we ourselves who have normalized it after years of suppression? The world is watching, and sometimes it warns us directly. Recently, a Howell health entrepreneur, Brian Johnson, visited India for a podcast, but left mid-session saying that the air around here made my eyes burn out. So what does that say about the danger we casually accept every day? But is it lack of innovation? No. Is it lack of intelligence or intellectual understanding? No, my friends, it is lack of collective urgency. And this is where hope enters through action. Students are monitoring air with low-cost air purifiers, and they are making low-cost air quality monitoring sensors, turning data into awareness. Youth-led NGOs are promoting green and urban sustainable living. They are not asking who will do it. They are saying, if not us, then who? At last, I would like to end my words saying that pollution does not discriminate between rich and poor, but the poor suffer first and the youth suffer longest. So I appeal to all the brilliant minds present here that we should come together and fight against this invisible enemy. Because what we lack is not innovation, not intelligence, not what we desperately need is implementation. Thank you.
The topic is open for discussion.
So you have told a problem, all of us know. So you must add some solution as a youth.
Sir, the main topic that I'm here for is that I know this conference is full of brilliant minds and innovators. So I thought that this is the best platform. I should keep my point and enlighten that I should just shed some light that this topic needs some thinking. Thank you, sir.
Next participant, Dr. Shahaji Tidke, OP10.
Respected dignitaries, judges, and all my dear friends, a hearty good evening to one and all. Today, I am not here to bore you with some statistics or show you slides that go over your head or just represent the topic freely. I am here to talk about something that is important. I'll give you a background. I am MD Community Medicine, and community medicine means public health. And in my research topic, under the guidance of my guide, respected Varbe ma'am, we did a thesis on adolescent health in rural areas. So what we found was quite alarming. And this app, the idea of an app is a brainchild of that thesis. The topic is Empowering Adolescent Girls, a comprehensive health management app. Now, first of all, what is adolescence and why is it important? Adolescence is the age between 10 to 19 as defined by WHO. So why is it important? Now see, India has come a long way in infant health, in neonatal health. म्हणजे जे 1 महिन्यापर्यंत किंवा 1 वर्षापर्यंत जे बाळ असतात, we focus a lot of them because a lot of them were dying. As well as there is a focus on geriatric health. But how many of us, I repeat, how many of us actually think that adolescents, जे 10 to 19 age group चे लोक आहे, that they are actually important in the health status of a society. Now why are they important? Because those are the people that are going to be the youth of tomorrow, that are going to be the earning population of tomorrow, the parents of tomorrow, and eventually the elders of tomorrow. So they are going to stick with those habits which are formed for the longest amount of time. Okay? So adolescents form about 20% of India's population. Considering India's population, that is a very, very large number. So now the proposal. The proposal is to develop an app, preferably an Android app. Now why do I say app? Because post-COVID, the change has been that smartphone access has reached to the deepest and darkest corners of our society. Almost every household has at least one smartphone. So if that smartphone can be used to access an Instagram reel or a YouTube short or even order food online, then why not health? Why are we waiting to focus on health till the point that health deteriorates, right? The adolescents have to be able to access preventive medicine that is a part of community medicine. Now why do I say preventive medicine? Because adolescents la as such health problems itke serious nastat ki te direct doctor kade janar, okay? But they have doubts, especially the girls. Lot of them in the village. In my study, about 20% of them were still using cloths as their menstrual pads instead of actual sanitary pads. So if that amount of people are still ignorant, then why are we not giving them the information? Now what is their source of information? It's either friends, it's either their community, or they look up random things online. But Google and YouTube is not a source of information because it may be not verified. So the proposal is to have an app backed by medical science, backed by a health facility that can give them verified and up-to-date data. So what can be used in the app? We can do health tracking, that is track their BMI, track their hemoglobin, track their previous health records, so the next time they go to a physician, they can have a history of those records. We can have their nutritional monitoring as well as safety features like emergency contacts, helpline numbers, and all that. As well as that, we can give them reminders for any vaccination, any government scheme, because there are a lot of government schemes for adolescents, but a lot of them are never known to the public. They never know what facilities are available to them. So via that app, if it is done with collaboration with the public health authorities, we can give them up-to-date and verified information. Now why is it important? We will get a large number of data which can be, after monitoring the data safety and maintaining the anonymity of the candidate, which can be used to form public health schemes. If we are focusing on schemes like Anemia Mukt Bharat, don't we have to know how many people actually have anemia, how many adolescents are actually suffering? As well as that, awareness about sexual hygiene, reproductive hygiene is a topic which is not talked about much. And the girls especially are very susceptible to dangerous methods in that age. So we can give them verified information, we can help them reach out to the doctors. It is all a part of telemedicine. A country like Bangladesh has an app called UNICEF Adolescents. So why not us? Why not India? Why don't we make a proper challenge for the people to approach the physicians and at a cost which will not be a burden on them. It should not be a luxury. Health should not be a luxury, it should not be a privilege, but it should be a right of each and every citizen. That's all. Thank you.
The topic is open for discussion.
First of all, congratulations for nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
What my question is,
Yes.
do you think menstrual disorder or many other serious diseases or disorder in girls
Yes,
are connected with social, mental and economic status of that girl? If yes, then how? And how your app is useful in that sense?
Yes, sir. I completely agree because when we study health, the definition by WHO, it's a complete social, mental, physical, as well as emotional well-being. So it is a multifactorial thing. If a girl is from a poor social status, she might not actually have money for the sanitary pads. She might not have money to maintain proper hygiene. She might not have the education. So that's why all these things are connected. So what we can do is we can connect that particular girl with a healthcare authority who might know that there are schemes where she can get these things for free of cost from the government institutes. की तू इथे जा, इथून तुला हे medicines, iron folic acid tablets झाले, calcium tablets झाले, किंवा sanitary napkins झाले, that you can get at a free or a very cheap cost. So that bridging of the gap from healthcare facility to the patient, that can be done with the app.
Good topic, and you choose appropriate age class,
Thank you, sir.
adolescent,
Yes, sir.
because it is a very neglected one.
Yes, sir.
But my question is, how this app running successfully? Because before that, just like a Prakruti Parikshan app, one app from the government of India, they compulsory forcefully told that to install in your Android phone in our government colleges, but no one can use that app. So what is the success point?
Sir, we can start with a pilot study. My app is still in the development stage. So we can, under the pilot study, we can cover government schools. Schools are the areas where adolescents are present, and we can insist on them to install the app and see the results after a few months. Sir, our aim is to provide the tool, and if they are getting the positive results, if they are having, sometimes they have the hesitance ki apan parents la kasa bolu about reproductive issues, about health issues. If they are getting proper verified answers, so it might help them to reach out by themselves. Even when it comes to psychological help, they might have counseling and psychiatrists available on demand. So that might be an incentive to them. Yes.
Next
Thank you,
participant, Abhinandan Shende, OP11.
Good evening, one and all. I am Abhinandan Deepak Shinde, a final year MBBS UG student studying at Dr. Panjabrao Elias Bhausaheb Deshmukh Memorial Medical College, Amravati. My topic comes under the category of medicine and pharmacy. The title of my presentation is Assessing the Factors for Complete Doses of Vitamin A Supplementation for Respective Age among Under 5 Children in Rural Settings. Introduction. National Immunization Program and National Health Policy recommended a total of 9 doses of vitamin A supplementation. This program is planned not only to implement the micronutrient deficiency but also to boost up the remaining vaccines so that immunity shall be boosted and efficiency of that vaccines can also be improved. However, out of 9 doses, only first 2, that is 20% of the doses, are given and documented and supervised along with measles and MMR vaccine. This reflects that coverage of rest of 80% doses are unsupervised. Hence, through this research work, we tried to uncover the actual practice and find out the gaps for vitamin A supplementation at beneficiary level. Our objective of the study was to find out promoting and hindering factors for complete coverage of vitamin A supplementation in rural settings. Methodology. A cross-sectional survey study was conducted during 2025 in rural settings of Amravati district, and the participants were beneficiaries of children aged 9 to 59 months. As per WHO cluster samplage method, a total of 5 talukas were selected and a total of 109 beneficiaries were included. Quantitative data was collected by using questionnaires and checklists for interview of parents to obtain information regarding vitamin A doses received or not, number of doses, reasons for dropout, and challenges, if any. Responses after interview of parents were cross-checked on immunization card. Gathered information were entered in MS Excel sheets and analyzed. These are some of the images clicked during this study. Results. Table 1, socio-demographic information of the beneficiaries. As we can see here, most of the beneficiaries were from the age group of 30 to 42 months, and male and female population were almost equal. Most of them were Hindu by religion. Both the parents were mostly educated, that is 60% of the parents were educated up to 10th and remaining 40% were educated beyond 10th. Occupation of mother were majorly housewife and of father was laborer by occupation. Most of them were below poverty line. Table 2, age-wise coverage of vitamin A supplementation among the children in rural settings. As we can see here, first and second doses of vitamin A are given in most of the beneficiaries, as they are given along with MMR and measles vaccine and are documented and supervised. But from third to eighth dose onwards, the percentage goes on decreasing. And exactly at the 9th dose, the percentage increased because of it was given along with DPT vaccine, and hence it was monitored and supervised and documented. Table 3, promoting factors. Motivation by peripheral health workers was the single most promoting factor. Most of them were motivated by ASHA and rest by ANM and Anganwadi workers. Correlation between education of parents and coverage of vitamin A was found to be insignificant. Table 4, hindering factors. 4 major hindering factors were recognized. First, non-awareness of about 9 doses of vitamin A supplementation. Second, non-availability of vitamin A supplements at health center. Third, non-remembrance by health worker. And finally, non-remembrance by parents themselves. Discussion. Harsh Mahajan et al. In 2023 noted that only 6.2% of children received all doses of vitamin A due for respective age in Uttar Pradesh. Ignorance among parents was the main hindering factor. Similarly, Shilpa Bhatte et al. In 2024 carried out the same study in Nagaland state, and a barrier to receiving vitamin A supplementation was lack of knowledge of benefits. Similarly, Shailesh Palve et al. Assessed the same in urban slum of Mumbai, where coverage was only 38%. Conclusion. From this research, motivation was the main promoting factor and hindering factors were as mentioned here. Hence, there is a need to improve the coverage of remaining doses of vitamin A supplementation through the sensitization of peripheral health workers. Also, there is a need to increase awareness among parents which can be carried out through behavior change communication activities carried out at village level under Village Health and Nutrition Day under VHNSC committee. Reminding system like auto-generated text system can also be generated under National Immunization Program, where parents will receive date-wise dose of vitamin A. At the last, policy should ensure that there is ample or good availability of stock, because availability of stock is basic step in vitamin A supplementation. These are the references. Thank you for your patient listening.
The topic is open for discussion.
You told that vitamin A is responsible for enhancing the immunity.
Yes.
So what dose of vitamin A is responsible to enhance cell-mediated immunity? Is it responsible for enhancing cell-mediated immunity or not?
Yes, yes.
If yes,
surely.
Then what dose is needed?
Dose recommended by ICMR and National Immunization Program is under 1 year of child. It is given 1 lakh international unit in orally, and above 1 year of age, the children are given 2 lakh international unit, that is 20 ml syrup by spoon.
But is it enhance both humoral and cell-mediated immunity? I am asking.
Yes, I recommend that more humoral and cell-mediated immunity is both are increased due to vitamin A, because it carries out the majorly functions out of which immunity function is mainly responsible for gaining the effective immunity to the children under 5, because they are more prone to malnutrition and other problems. That's why vitamin A supplementation is most important. That's why the National Prophylaxis Program against nutritional blindness has given that minimum a total of 9 doses should be covered for every children under 5 age.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next participant is Janvi Mahalle, OP12.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Janvi Mahalle, and I'm final year MBBS student at Dr. PDMC Amravati. And my topic's name is Assessing Impact of Body Mass Index on Menstrual Pattern of Adolescent Girls in Urban Area of Amravati district. So let's begin. WHO defines adolescence to be the transitional phase of growth and development, and significant changes occur in this phase. Menstruation is said to be the fundamental aspect of female reproduction. Regular menstruation every month is sign of a good health. Objectives of my studies are to estimate the prevalence of the menstrual abnormalities, to categorize participants on basis of BMI, and to analyze the association between menstrual pattern and BMI. This observational study was carried across schools of Amravati district amongst the age of 12 to 16 years, and it went for like 6 months. 276 participants participated in this study, and random sampling technique was used as a type of survey. Pre-designed and pre-tested questionnaires were used as a data collection tool. Data was then entered into Excel sheet and analyzed using SPSS version 16. Chi-square test of significance was used to compare the different variables. Permission from respective principals of schools were taken, and seminar was conducted on menstrual health. Informed consent from class teachers and students were taken before signing up and filling up the questionnaire, and measurement of height was done by stadiometer, and weight was weighed by weighing machine. And BMI was calculated by the formula of weight upon height square, and participants were further categorized into these categories. And results were as such that most of the participants who participated in study belonged to school 4, and most of the participants who participated in study belonged to age group of 15. It was seen that maximum or majority number of girls got their menarche, that is their first period, after the age of 12. It was seen that participants who participated were mostly underweight, followed by normal, and then overweight category. This was the main portion. Here, distribution of participants were done on basis of menstrual pattern, and these were our observation. It was seen that most of the participants had regular cycle, but unignorable portion had irregular cycle. It was seen that most of the participants had normal durational cycles, moderate flow, and moderate rate of dysmenorrhea, which is pain during periods. After that, every menstrual pattern was studied alongside BMI, and association was established between them. And it was seen that almost all students from overweight category had their menarche at age less than 12 years. Almost all overweight participants had irregular cycles in comparison to normal and underweight category, and almost all overweight participants had heavy flow in comparison to normal and underweight category. And you can clearly see the p-value is 0.000, which is said to be very highly significant. No association was established in between duration and dysmenorrhea faced by students. So similar studies conducted by Marquis P, Agrawal M, Yunhee Tang, Shambhavi showed similar results, thus making us conclude to the topic that higher BMI or overweight girls faced earlier menarche, irregular cycles, and heavier flow. Both undernutrition and overnutrition causes imbalance in hormones. BMI management is very crucial at age of adolescent to prevent the further menstrual concern. You can see the prevalence rate here. Majority of my students belong to underweight category, and least were from overweight category. Recommendation and future scope of my study include nutritional counseling and maintaining healthy lifestyle should be promoted among school-going students, and they should also know how to manage stress properly. Health education session regarding menstrual awareness to abolish taboos and increase question related to it should be addressed. Early referral to healthcare professionals for persistent menstrual related problems so that we can further prevent the serious reproductive and endocrine complications. Further, multicentric and prospective studies can be carried out as an extension of this study. Thank you, and these are my references.
The topic is open for discussion. Next participant, Krishna Brahma.
Excuse me. You have used chi-square test for the analysis.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, it is to establish the relation between BMI and the menstrual pattern of the student. It is a very good criteria to study the comparative or the associational study. Two 76 participants were participated in study from the school-going girls from age group of 12 to 16 years. Thank you.
I think there is a one again means socio-economic background is very important when you check the BMI.
Yes, sir. Sir,
So that point is missing here.
Sir, I think I considered urban area girls to be the part of my studies because menstrual irregularities are commonly seen in girls present in urban area more than the girls present in rural area because of their exposure to the exposure of their dietary habits, their sedentary lifestyle, and thus my topic includes urban adolescent girls of urban region than of rural region.
But you should correlate all these things, social, mental, economic status in your questionnaire or data.
Yes, sir. That's why in recommendation I have said that multicentric studies and prospective studies can be carried out. Multicentric means my study can be further be extended to rural areas so that we can compare the menstrual pattern among girls of urban area and rural area, and further it can be conducted to the various regions like Nagpur, Akola, Amravati and all over Vidarbha and its specific rural regions.
Next
Okay,
participant,
Thank you.
Krishna Bhama, OP13. OP13.
Good evening, everyone. So this is part of my research which I am doing at LED Nagpur. So basically my research topic is the formulation and evaluation of omega fatty acid enriched cream for enhancing the skin hydration and barrier properties. Now like in the industry lot of got it. Plant oils which are rich in omega fatty acids and they're effective because of the carbon chain length which provides a good barrier function. So testing the efficacies of these oils, preparing the formulation basis, stabilizing those formulation basis, and then the major part is shortlisting this formulation, having the right approaches to prove that it is having the barrier properties. So I have shortlisted these oils based on FAME analysis, having the thought process of omega 3, 6 and 9 enriched with it, and also come up with a unique blend and the formulation which talks about having a serum and a cream. Why? Because they have different viscosities and have the different penetration pattern. So when you see to it, how did I go about evaluating it? This is something which I had done in vitro analysis on the dermal skin on the volar forearm, which was done with the panelists, wherein I found that the serum and the cream, out of which there was an instant hydration by the cream. However, the longevity of the hydration was majorly seen in the serum. Further, it was taken for the quantification of the omega fatty acids present in the cream by GC analysis, which was in which we have found again the serum is giving good active content in it, though the concentration of the actives remains the same. Then coming to the cell line studies, why? Because anything we apply on the skin has to be safe for the skin. So as we cannot directly test it on the human panel, cell line is a very good approach to find out the cell viability. So the main thing, we want that hyaluronic acid, which is intact in our skin, should be there, and it should not be inhibited by hyaluronidase. So this assay was performed keeping that in mind, and you can see that the serum has performed really well in that inhibition of hyaluronidase enzyme. Also the APQ3 gene assay, wherein this gene is very much responsible for the moisturization and the longevity of the barrier function in the stratum corneum and holding it right up like a brick. So this assay was also performed on the cell lines, wherein the serum again has performed over the cream. So just to conclude on this, I wanted to go ahead with the dermal panel studies for the safety, which I conducted by taking the approval with the ethic committee, and the formulation has found to be non-erythema and having non-oedema. So basically I want to conclude from this that though we are looking at substitutes which are cheaper, we have something which is very much inherent to the traditions which are there, which has higher nutrient values in it, which can be leveraged, and simple functions as barrier property can be provided. Any questions?
The topic is open for discussion.
You told that your this drug or
Yeah, the
serum
Unicom
is having
yes.
hyaluronidase inhibitory effect.
Yes.
So how you analyze that?
So that is why the cell line assays. So there is an enzyme hyaluronidase which is very prominent and which inhibits the functioning of hyaluronic acid which is in there in your skin. So this enzyme was used on a ELISA cell line assay, wherein that enzyme was used versus the control, that was ascorbic acid, and the inhibiting activity of this particular skin cream was diluted in the cell line, and it was tested how much inhibition is there by this particular concoction of the serum and cream versus the ascorbic acid, which was a control. So likewise, it has been concluded that it has high, however, it was having very good activity versus ascorbic acid, which is a standard. So it was 19 somewhere, if I remember, and this was 18. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Next participant, Dr. Anaga Devgade, OP 14.
Good evening, everyone. I am Anaga Devgade from Swargiya Dada Saheb Academic Dental College and Hospital, Nagpur. Today, I will be presenting a seminar on a case report, basically, on a comprehensive report on cementoblastoma with permanent molar. So, cementoblastoma is a rare benign odontogenic tumor. It usually involves permanent mandibular molars. The objectives of this report are to know the rarest case This is a rare case. This never happens, like, not everyone gets this disease. Okay. We'll here see the surgical management and post-operative healing of this case. So it is a clinical study. A 20-year-old female patient reported to the Department of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery with the chief complaint of pain and swelling in the lower right posterior region of jaw for the duration of 6 months. The pain was constant, dull aching, and which aggravated on mastication. Swelling was gradual, hard in consistency, and progressive. Clinically, we saw hard, bony, and slightly painful swelling. Tenderness on percussion was positive with first, second lower molars and second premolar. There was no lip neurosensory deficit of lower lip, which indicated that mandibular canal was not involved. See, like here the mandibular canal is the red one, and that is not involved in the tumor. Here the OPG shows a radiolucent halo, which is approximately 1 to 1.5 centimeters, and CBCT image shows radiopaque lining, which indicates perial space widening. The approach was, surgery was done under general anesthesia. Intraoral approach provides better accessibility and visibility, also prevents the need for extraoral approach and hence extraoral scarring. The lining of tooth root. So cementum when cementoblast
So these are the contents. So introduction. Accidents are the most common cause of the panfacial trauma. Panfacial means the fracture which involves the upper 1/3, lower 1/3, which is in between that maxilla and orbital rim and lower mandible, that is the lower 1/3. Is combined fracture of all these three bones is called as the panfacial trauma. It is best treated by the open reduction and the internal fixation up to nowadays. So the panfacial trauma is also best managed by the various combination of the various sequencing, and also used to restore facial contours. So two common sequences of panfacial trauma are used to reduce the facial fractures. First are the bottom up and inside out approach, and other is a top to bottom outside in approach. So the most common etiology of the panfacial fractures most common are the road traffic accidents, such as the high speed motor vehicle collisions, two-wheeler accidents, especially without the person driving without a helmet, internal personal assault, that is assault by the blunt objects, physical fights, falls from a height at construction site, then the industrial accidents such as then a sports injury, then the blast victims such as terrorist attack and accidental blast in the industries or chemical labs. So the most common symptoms of panfacial fractures are the enophthalmos, loss of consciousness, then open wide, then loss of consciousness, altered airway. These are the most common, and unable to facial contours, loss of facial contours. So my main objective is to evaluate the effectiveness of the bottom to top and inside out approach, and top to down and outside in approach, and establishment of new pattern of preparing the panfacial fractures, which provides the least facial scar and stable occlusion. So the keywords: open reduction, the incision given directly on the fractured bone fragment to realign them into the anatomic position. The internal fixation is a new surgical technique by which the broken bones are fixed or stabilized by the means of plates and screw. Bottom up from mandible to frontozygomatic suture of frontal bone, then top to bottom, then frontal bone to the mandible, then inside out from the first there is a nasal bone is reduced first, then we have to fix zygomatic bone, or outside in there to zygomatic bone, which firstly reduce, then to the nasal bone. So these are the normal facial anatomy. These are the direction of the approaches. So methodology: this is the experimental study and prospective study, which compares the outcome of the patient by which treated by the both bottom up and inside out approach, and top to bottom outside in approach. So 100 patients of all over Maharashtra reported to Department of the Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery units of all dental colleges. So I divided it into group 1 and group 2. 50 patients are divided for by which the pinfacial trauma held are treated with the bottom to top and inside out approach, and second group with 50 patients are treated with top to bottom and outside in approach. So there the case report. Here is the image after all primary emergency management. This image CT scan image shows the multiple facial fractures, and 3D dimensional CT scan shows here. So here is the first intermaxillary fixation. We act as a guide. Here is the fracture reduction with a stainless steel titanium mini plates reduction. These are the intraoral vestibular incision given. Here are the lateral brow incision with given at lateral orbital rim, and here is the right infraorbital region which fixed by the stainless steel plates. Here is the post-op immediate radiograph of the patient. This image shows the post-operative healing after 3 months of the patient. So discussion, pan-facial fracture management is the most complicated and challenging because it includes the loss of forced bony tissue and the landmarks and facial aesthetic to result. After the satisfactory evaluation of the patients, the bottom up and inside out approach widely accepted here and restores the facial occlusion and the facial aesthetics.
The topic is open for discussion.
Is there any instrument to treat this pan-facial trauma?
Sir, there is not only one fracture, so multiple instruments are used for multiple fractures, such as to reduce that one nasal fracture or palatal bone fracture, we use the Rose disimpaction forceps. And for mandible, we also use the different instruments for the fracture reduction.
Thank you. Next participant
Thanks
is
for patiently.
Dr. Nidhi Bavankure, OP16.
So these are the systemic types: rhinocerebral, pulmonary, cutaneous, gastrointestinal, and dissemination. Mainly, this image will be more clear towards you. These are the systemic types. Number 1 is rhinocerebral, then this, and pulmonary. As I belong to a dental field, so mainly my focus was when I was studying was this in oral surgery. Then in orofacial types, there are rhinocerebral mucormycosis, which mostly involves sinus, palate, and brain. Then oral mucormycosis, ulcer, gums, and maxillofacial mucormycosis. These are the better diagrams that will be explain you my topic. Number 1, that is rhinocerebral, which involves the which will be telling about the patient's recovery rate, surgery and death. Mostly recovery rate was bare minimum, and surgeries was done. Surgeries like removal of the eyeball, removal of the whole nasal part was done. In this discussion, you will get to know about the which type of surgeries were done. Here the fifth question, which type of surgery is needed? So as I earlier told, eyeball surgery and as I told, nasal cavity surgery. So the fungus was infecting this portion because oxygen mask was regularly used, and oxygen cylinders and oxygen mask. At that time, oxygen mask was barely or mostly changed from the patient. If a patient died, then second patient was treated on the same oxygen mask. So that's why this fungal infection were affecting. Now, corporate scope, which is mainly focused now because due to mucormycosis, 14 billion 2024 was the approximate percentage that mucormycosis giving economical support to the country. And it will be turn or change increased in to 11.89 billion, growing at the CAGR of around 8.73% till 2030. So the corporate scope of mucormycosis is giving a very large pharmaceutical economical background to the society. Thank you.
The topic is open for discussion.
Congratulations for nice presentation. So you said that mucormycosis is having immunocompressive effect, right?
Yes, sir.
So how you concluded that?
Sir, immunocompromised effect as in COVID-19, mostly patient who were affecting like who were having diabetic, hypertension, they are getting more prone to mucormycosis as diabetes itself is a sugar. And on sugar, fungal infections are mostly we can say bread and butter for fungal infection, diabetes, and hypertension also. So the body does not get minimum resistance to resist these fungal infections. That's why. Thank you, sir.
Next participant, Khushbu Advani, OP40.
Good evening, everyone.
Khushbu Advani, OP40. 40.
Which is the category of this participant?
Category 6, Medicine and Pharmacy.
Sir, it's humanities. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Khushbu Deepak Advani. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Khushbu Deepak Advani, and I am a student of BSc Home Science, and my topic for today's presentation is Know Your Food Better. So, what is food? Anything solid or liquid which, after digestion, assimilation, or absorption, nourishes the body is called as food. What is a food choice? The food products which we consume in our daily day-to-day lives, which can be due to various factors like the quality of the food, cost of the food, or the nutrients which it gives, is called as food choice. So, what are the determinants affecting the food choice? Biological determinants. Biological determinants include the determinants which such as hunger and satiety. Hunger and satiety both are connected to the brain central nerves. The central nerves of the brain control the balance between the hunger and satiety. So, what is palatability? Palatability is the presentation of the food in simple language. The presentation of the food, the way in which the food is presented in front of you is called as palatability. Let's take an example. अगर हम लोगों ने एक पाव भाजी हमारे सामने रखी गई है, तो उस पे अगर आपके पाव बर्न्ड है, भाजी अंडर कुक्ड है, उसकी सब्जियां अच्छे से गली नहीं है, एंड दूसरी प्लेट में अगर आपके सामने बेसिक दाल एंड रोटी रखी गई है, उसमें से रोटी पे आपको अच्छे से मतलब घी लगा के दिया गया है एंड दाल में अच्छे से जीरा लगा के दिया गया है. तो what will be the thing you will like to prefer? The dal and roti. Why? Because it has increased the palatability of the food, its appearance. So the next points are economic and physical determinants. Economic determinants basically includes the cost and accessibility. Basically, it's an obvious thing, the cost of the food will affect the quality of the food which we consume. Means the people belonging to the low income group will obviously prefer the low quality food which will be in their range. And accessibility of shops, like the people living in the tribal areas, they do not have the accessibility to the shops. Even the most common ration shop is not available to them. It also affects the determinants, the quality of the food which they eat. Education and knowledge. Of course, that's the second thing which will affect. Like if we were taught that carbohydrates, fats and proteins are the main source of energy and protein is the main source of protein is the main source of muscle building. So the person who will go to the gym will obviously prefer that I will consume more protein so I can develop my muscles better. Next, next point will be cultural influences. Of course, the culture affects the food choice as it is restricted some foods. As we all know, the non-veg is the main source of protein, is a very good source of protein. But some cultural, like the Hindu religion affects, the Hindu religion does not support the consumption of non-veg. So the protein quality in their food obviously affects as compared to the other caste. Social context. The social context of the food also has a main effect on the food determinants. Values. The values which peoples are taught to eat and what not to eat also affects the food quality. If we do not share.
The topic is open for discussion.
What you concluded in your presentation?
Sir, I
what the
concluded
message you want to give?
That the food quality we choose plays an important role in our day-to-day life. If we conclude all the determinants of food, so we can reduce the risk of cardiac diseases. If all the nutrients and minerals will be included in the diet, so the chances are less to.
So food is the medicine.
Yeah.
What is good choice, veg or non-veg?
Yes, sir.
What is good choice, veg or non-veg?
So if we can look in the way of protein, so non-veg has a very good amount of proteins available in it. In fact, the egg is considered as the only source which contains all the essential amino acids in a single egg. Matlab we can get all the essential amino acids in single eggs. When we will go in the veg options, we have to combine it with some other things. Like if we combine the dal with chawal, so dal with rice, so we can get essential amino acids, but it two lacks one of them.
And you told that political views influence the food choice. How?
So which views?
Political views.
Political views. Sorry, I didn't mention political views.
That is there in your presentation.
Social views were there, so.
Thank you, Khushbu. Our last participant is Vaidehi Kare, OP41.
Good evening, everyone, all the dignitaries and the judges. So, myself, Ms. Vaidehi Kare, I am presenting a research topic which is bridging the gap, breast cancer awareness and self-breast examination knowledge in tribal areas of Maharashtra. So, as we all know that breast cancer is one of the leading causes of cancer-related mortality among women worldwide, with a growing incidence in India. Tribal women face many barriers, including limited access to healthcare, cultural taboos, awareness of breast cancer is low, and self-breast examination, which is a evaluatory method which is non-invasive, cost-effective, and can be done by a woman herself, leading to late diagnosis and poor examination. So, self-breast examination is one of the vital screening technique for early detection of breast cancer. My research question is, what is the level of knowledge, awareness and prevention practices about breast cancer and self-breast examination among women in tribal areas? The objectives of my studies are to study the knowledge, awareness and practices, to assess the knowledge of risk factors and symptoms of breast cancer, to identify the barriers women face in assessing breast cancer prevention, and to demonstrate the correct method of SBE and provide training to the women for regular practice. So, we conducted a community-based cross-sectional study in the tribal areas of Maharashtra in Amravati, Nagpur, Chikaldara region among 193 tribal women aged 18 to 50 years. Data was collected through a structured questionnaire assessing demographics, knowledge of breast cancer, SBE practices, and healthcare access. Data was analyzed using MS Excel, and the study was commenced after the approval from the Institutional Ethics Committee. These are some of the photos you can see. This is the questionnaire and the study we conducted. We conducted several camps also. So let's dive into the results section. So after the results, we came to know that 27% are aware of breast cancer, which is very low. Then sources of information were healthcare workers, community gatherings or media. Awareness of early detection benefits only was 10%. Awareness of self-breast examination was very low, that is 15%, and practice of SBE was done only by 7%. Knowledge of risk factors was only 15%, which include family history, poor diet, lifestyle or hormonal, and 13% were aware of the symptoms like lump in the breast, nipple discharge or changes. And there were several barriers like limited access to healthcare facilities, cultural stigma and beliefs, lack of understanding and how to perform SBE, fear due to cultural norms and misinformation. So as we discussed, we came to know that there is an awareness and knowledge gap, which is the impact of low literacy and limited healthcare exposure. Cultural and systemic barriers like stigma, misconceptions and fear contribute to the lack of discussion. Now, what is the way forward? What are the implications of the study? Community-based programs, trainings. So, empowering women with the knowledge of practice of SEB will reduce mortality. Focused interventions in tribal areas will strengthen public health. Empowering local healthcare workers will ensure sustainable community-driven solutions. And supporting India's national health goals will provide better healthcare access for everyone. So this is the real practical approach. Our college has launched a mobile mammography van to provide affordable breast cancer screening. This mobile unit is designed to reach women in remote areas with limited healthcare access, which promotes early detection and timely intervention, saving time and travel cost for patients, which contributes to the reduction of breast cancer related mortality, which promotes health outcomes and bridging gaps in healthcare accessibility. So as we conclude, we come to know that there is a significant gap among knowledge, awareness and practices. Knowledge of risk factors, awareness about self-breast examination and regular practice is low, which highlights the need for targeted education. Barriers prevent women from seeking timely care and adopting preventive measures. So, demonstrating and training women the correct method of SB has shown positive results. Community-based interventions, mobile healthcare units are essential to address these gaps. These are my references. As it is said, united we stand, together we win. I conclude my topic here. Thank you so much.
The topic is open for discussion.
What is your problem of origin? You choose this topic. So what is the problem of origin? And second question is, have you any data regarding to the ratio of breast cancer cases amongst urban and tribal people?
No, this study was only started in the tribal areas first. Then we move on to the other research project which I am currently doing, which is based on cervical cancer and breast cancer both. So first we started only with tribal, then we included the rural areas, and we will increase this in future. And so from here the origin started. And the next question was ratio of breast cancer. So we did not there was no one who knew about breast cancer in that areas. They were all unaware, so no one was diagnosed breast cancer.
Not in that area, but have you any data regarding to the ratio in total world or in any India, in concerning with India?
Yeah, so there is 22% incidence.
Comparative data or comparative ratio, tribal women's and urban women's?
Yeah, I have seen that, but the ratio is very less, means
Contraceptive pills or hormone replacement therapy are responsible for causing breast cancer. What is your opinion?
yes, obviously, because they are
That-
estrogen exposure is happening in their body, so due to that it leads to estrogen, means more estrogen is produced in their body, so leads to more chances of breast cancer. Drugs like tamoxifen or any hormone replacement therapy drugs.
Thank you, Vaidehi. Thank you so much, dear participants, for the wonderful presentation. On behalf of NSC 2K26 and Sri Shivaji Science College, Amravati, we sincerely thank our judges, our respected judges, for graciously accepting our invitation and for sparing their valuable time to guide and mentor our student researchers. Thank you.
Dear participants,